$1,000 stipend.
It will give them a path to coming back into the country.
The president says people who don't self-deport won't have the same potential path to return to the U.S. Tomorrow, President Trump has a first meeting with Canada's prime minister, who's been critical of Trump calls for Canada to become the 51st state and of Trump tariffs.
I'm not sure what he wants to see me about, but I guess he wants to make a deal. Everybody does. They all want to make a deal because we have something that they all want.
This as the governors of 6 Northeast states invite provincial leaders from Canada to discuss tariff impacts. The president's comments coming during an Oval Office event where he announced the 2027 NFL Draft will be held in Washington, D.C., also telling reporters the U.S. will help get food to Palestinians in Gaza. He did not comment directly on a reported vote by Israel's cabinet to expand its operations in Gaza to seize all of the Strip. Meantime, Israel's military just confirming airstrikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen after the Iranian-backed Houthis hit Israel's main airport with a missile, injuring several people. 19 states and D.C. are suing the Trump administration over cuts to health and human services.
We are asking the court to halt the unlawful dismantling of HHS, to stop the mass firings, and to restore the life-saving programs that millions of Americans depend on.
New York Attorney General Letitia James, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced a plan to restructure and consolidate agencies in March. The U.S. Army pausing flights around the Pentagon for investigation after 2 flights were diverted by Reagan National Airport last week when an Army helicopter on a training mission was told to make another loop before landing. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A person shot outside the Hendricks County Courthouse. No rain showing up on radar in central Indiana. You do have some showers showing up down in the southern part of the state. A 30% chance that you could see a sprinkle this afternoon. It's 58 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 3:02. That shooting happened this afternoon and involved a Hendricks County deputy. John Herrick speaks with Indiana State Police Sergeant John Perrine, who is outside of the courthouse in Danville.
Yeah, first and foremost, I can report that no officers or uninvolved people in this incident were injured. There's only one person who was shot, and that is the suspect who we believe was armed at the time of the shooting.
Okay, so what were the circumstances around the shooting, and what was the suspect doing in your guys' estimation?
Yeah, we had 2 Hendricks County deputies were transporting a group of inmates to the courthouse for court proceedings. When they arrived at the courthouse, they parked out front, they unloaded all of the inmates and started walking inside, at which time we believe they were confronted by this man who was at the courthouse already, outside the courthouse. The man displayed a firearm, at which time the deputies were able to shoot the suspect, get all of the inmates back to a safe location inside the courthouse, and the suspect was pronounced deceased here at the scene.
WIBC News will have more throughout the afternoon. Layoffs expected for one of Indiana's proudest products. The layoffs are expected in mid to late June for RV manufacturers in northern Indiana. More than 500 people may be laid off. That includes 251 people at Cruiser RV in Howe, 147 people at Heartland RV in Elkhart and Middlebury. DRV RV in Howe expected to lay off 51 people. Workers were informed in a letter about the expected layoffs last month, with specifics finally coming today. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? If the holes are too big, debris gets in, and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 19% discount, plus, get this, 12 months no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Give them a call at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET to schedule a free estimate. 19% off restrictions apply and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET or go to gutterhelmetindy.com and never clean your gutters again.
93 WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
Yeah, asking everybody to avoid the area around Hendricks County Courthouse and Danville if you can because of the previously reported story on the shooting. Also looking at eastbound 70, this is a crash between the North Split and Rural Street, blocking the right shoulder. Serious crash 61st Street on the east side of Compton Street. 3-vehicle crash. Somebody's hurt. There is entrapment. And we have a pickup truck on its side. Okay, this is Compton, just north of 61st Street on the east side. Southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 dragging from West Street into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy skies today. A few spotty showers will be possible. It'll be a cooler day with highs right around 60. Spotty showers tonight with lows near 47. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Well, I'd like everybody to brace themselves. If you're listening in your car, put both hands on the steering wheel. Don't necessarily need to pull over. Just concentrate on what you're doing. Stop what you're doing if you are in the garage, because I got an announcement. This is a major announcement. It involves Donald Trump.
Oh.
Donald Trump has officially told NBC News that he will not seek a constitutionally prevented third term.
I bought that hook, line, and sinker. I thought you were going to say he will not be the president anymore. He's stepping down. There's a health situation.
There will be no third term for Donald Trump.
Constitutionally prevented third term that a lot of morons thought that Donald Trump was going to try to run for.
Kept on running his mouth there for a long time, even before the election. Yeah, well, when I get elected for a third term, I'm going to do this and this and this. And it's a troll. There were people in the media that were honestly, and even the talking heads and opinion heads were saying, well, look, he's saying this. He's saying he's going to do it. He's going to seek a third term, which according to the Constitution, there's a little problem in there with that.
Don Jr., your thoughts?
No shit! Who could have seen that coming? I had no idea!
If you ever thought he was going to run in 2028, and you legitimately thought this, you now understand why he won every single swing state, right? You hate this guy so much, you're willing to believe anything. Well, he said he was going to run in 2028. The Constitution will not allow that. He is not going to write an amendment to the Constitution, have it passed within the next 2 years to where he could be on the ballot and run again.
It was a troll.
Yes.
It's a troll, guys.
His store sells hats that say Trump 28 just to troll people. And the reason we're bringing this up, it was asked by a journalist.
Yeah.
On Meet the Press this past weekend, Kristen Welker,
quote unquote,
had a pretty in-depth conversation with President Trump. And we'll play some more audio coming up here in just a moment. But here she is asking Donald Trump, are you going to run for a third term?
The Trump organization is selling hats that say Trump 2028. Are you seriously considering a third term, Mr. President, even though it's prohibited by the Constitution? Or is this about staying politically viable?
I will say this. So many people want me to do it. I have never had requests so strong as that. But it's something that, to the best of my knowledge, you're not allowed to do. I don't know if that's constitutional that they're not allowing you to do it or anything else, but there are many people selling the 2028 hat. But this is not something I'm looking to do. I'm looking to have 4 great years and turn it over to somebody.
4 great years, turn it over to somebody.
And how embarrassing is that for Kristen Welker to ask in a legitimate fashion on Meet the Press?
Right. She's only got a limited amount of time with the president.
Yeah, right.
So of all the serious things going on in the world, Russia, Ukraine, Hamas against the Israelis, the tariffs, crime in this country, the midterms right around the corner.
You really going to seek a third term?
No.
And I love Trump. He's kind of just, playing dumb. Well, as far as I know, you're not allowed to do that. I'm going to have to read the Constitution. I'm going to have to double check. What a bunch of dopes you are if you actually thought that he wanted to do that. Maybe he wanted to do it, but he couldn't get away with it. You can't do it.
These are the same people that are super upset that Trump posted some sort of AI Photoshop picture of himself as the Pope.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
That picture broke their spirits, but yet when Gretchen Whitmer plays off doing that, it's fine. Remember, she didn't dress up as the Pope, but she made fun of the passing the wafer to somebody that was eating it.
Oh, yeah. I remember that controversy.
So I didn't hear a lot of those never Trump Catholics speak up at that point. And if the Trump picture bothers you more than the image of Joe Biden looking at his watch during the dignified transfer, again, that's why your side lost every single swing state. That's why. If you're more upset about that than the other things that we've mentioned, that's why.
Look, I'm not Catholic. I'm Christian, which is essentially, they believe the same thing, Catholics and Christians, different traditions, different beliefs, different...
you don't get to do as many fish fries.
Not as many fish fries. I don't think Christians, like the Traders Point Christian Church had on Friday or Saturday, they had a night full, they had a night for men, like for dads, like a dude's night. And I'm sure there was no drinking or alcohol there. But like you do a Catholic fish fry, and the priest is drunk. You know what I mean? Like that's doing the bingo card. Right. So like I look at the Pope and I'm thinking, I look at him and I have, I guess, reverence for him or respect possibly, but I'd look at him as a man. He's a man. If you put all your hope and faith and trust and love into another man, a human being, you are going to be severely disappointed. There is only one in my faith, as well as when I grew up, the only person you were supposed to, people look at the Pope the same way they do Jesus Christ. Like they feel the same way about him. I'm like, no.
It's not how this works.
No.
Wait till these people see the AI image of the Sistine Chapel putting out the orange smoke, because that's really going to blow their minds then. They're serious. He's going to be the Pope. The orange smoke is being released.
I just got that. I was trying to figure out what you're talking about.
It's not white. It's not black. It's orange. He was serious, people. He was serious. He's running for a third term, and he's going to be Pope.
Oh, wow.
Here's a little bit more of that NBC interview.
Oh, please.
Kristen Welker talking to Donald Trump about prices and markets and tariffs.
Sir, you acknowledge when you announced your tariffs, for example, the stock market dropped. It's been volatile. It has.
It is.
Do you take responsibility for that? Yeah. Do you take responsibility when it drops?
Ultimately, I take responsibility for everything, but I've only just been here for a little more than 3 months. But the stock market, look at what's happened in the last short period of time. Didn't it have 9 or 10 days in a row or 11 days where it's gone up? And the tariffs have just started kicking in. And we're doing really well psychologically. The fake news was giving me such press on the tariffs. The tariffs are going to make us rich. We're going to be a very rich country.
So they did get into other topics in that conversation, but the fact she had to waste any time at all asking about a third term just goes into the perception of what people think about the media. What the hell is wrong with you? Nigel, I don't know about you, but even though the weather was kind of crappy this weekend, I had a good time this weekend.
That was an awesome weekend. Loved this weekend. Loved everything about this weekend, especially... Well, you had the Derby Saturday and the Pacers on Sunday. And then right before the Pacers, a little exhibition game featuring one Miss Caitlin Clark.
I had a good time watching that.
I did too.
Indy car race and then Caitlin Clark.
Oh, yeah.
She was pulling up from damn near half court at one point. Like when we say logo 3, that's what we mean.
Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo! And a little point after
I've heard people say that was disrespectful. They were up by 30. Blah, blah, blah. Like, this was an exhibition game. This wasn't, I don't even know if you count this as preseason so much as you do like an exhibition game like in Rocky.
Right. Drago taking on Apollo Creed.
Right. That's more, people want to see Caitlin Clark shoot a bunch of three-pointers.
In Iowa, right? That's
in Iowa, where
she's
she graduated.
a rock star at. So, I had a good time with that. Did you see the ticket prices to get into that thing? They were going on the secondary market for $650.
In Iowa?
Yes.
And those probably weren't the like club seats or anything like that. There's like nosebleeds.
That gets you in the arena, right?
Wow.
$650 just to get in, and every seat was gone. And she gave those fans a little something to celebrate. Now, I told my wife this the other day. I love Caitlin Clark. I've hitched my wagon to Caitlin. Good for you. She puts up with a lot of crap. I hope this is the year she wins it all. But I think I have a new fever unofficial girlfriend, and it's Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah.
I enjoy Sophie Cunningham. She's got a little attitude to her. She's a little cocky. She's not afraid to throw some bows around. And she's not ugly. God bless her. So that's my crush on this year's Fever team. And then the Pacer game last night. Man.
So fun to watch.
From the beginning till the end, the Pacers, the big road win, up 1-0 on the Cavs.
To go into the number 1 seed's house and win is a huge deal.
This is the big layup late in the game by Halliburton to ice it.
Halliburton's on the logo, off the Turner screen, at the edge of the arc, 7 to shoot, inside the arc, pulls up, right wing, leans in, and gently scoops it off the glass.
That put the Pacers up by double figures into closing minutes.
Yep.
Bada bing, bada boom, 1-0. Love it. All right, Matt Bear, what's going on?
All right, Hammer, just about to go out on Matt in traffic here. It's a crash northbound 6570 Fletcher Avenue. And right now the left lane is blocked. Traffic stop and go into the south split. Another crash near downtown. This is eastbound 70 between the north split and rural. Nasty crash here. Reported with injury and entrapment. 2 right lanes are closed. Traffic jammed into the north split. And a crash on the south side. This is Emerson Avenue at Thompson Road. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We'll talk about the Derby later, but I lost $70 on the Derby, and I was going to do an anger bet for the Pacer game, just money line, $70.
Should have.
I should have, but I've made an agreement with my kid, my 13-year-old. He thinks it's funny that we bet on it, but like he only wants to bet like 19 cents.
So he's Rob Kendall? You're raising Rob Kendall?
I've got a mini Rob Kendall sitting next to me on the couch watching the Pacer game. So I think I walked away with 41 cents yesterday after betting money line on the Pacers.
Big win. Take it. Coming up a little bit after 4 o'clock, we've got a fun announcement. Fun announcement for this program.
Okay.
You don't want to miss that, 4:06. But up next, it's Cinco de Mayo, baby. And I believe our friends at Hiatus have brought some libations
Is
for
Glaze
us.
here?
I think I see the Glazer.
Uh-oh.
He's coming up next. Right now it's 61 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
The Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound.
Of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Tired of hard water stains, dry skin, or smelly water? Well or City Water, C&J, the official water treatment sponsors of the Pacers and Fever, gives you softer water, cleaner drinking water, with no more taste and odor issues thanks to a high-efficiency water softener, advanced water treatment, and reverse osmosis systems. Make every drop in your home pure, fresh, and worry-free. Best prices of the year right now with C&J's Well Water Bundles and City Water Bundles. C&J for great systems, great people too. 317-733-SOFT.
Weekday mornings at 7:15, the Tony Katz Popcorn Moment. Brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Don't wait any longer for the kitchen you've been dreaming of. Request a consultation at BoerRemodeling.com.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by B&W HVAC, Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, well, hello, everybody. I'm Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special in-studio guest.
Glazer.
Hello.
Brett Glaze from Hiatus Tequila. Also, maybe you recognize him from the Ale Emporium. My man, Happy Cinco de Mayo. How are you?
I'm great. Happy Cinco.
Now, if my Beech Grove High School education is correct, in this country, we celebrate Cinco de Mayo as the day that the Swedish went into Mexico and defeated the Nazis. Is that how that played out?
That's exactly how it played out.
I'm telling you.
I'm looking at it at Wikipedia right here.
Money's worth.
Was it over when the Germans defeated Pearl Harbor?
Hell no!
Cinco de Mayo, you happen to bring a little tequila in here. How is the tequila biz?
The tequila business is really good. You know, the question I get almost every day is like, how have the tariffs affected tequila? And they haven't yet. Could they? Yes. We don't know what our great president's going to do, and that's okay. When it happens, it happens. But for now, tequila sales are good.
You know what? I'm glad the Hammer and Nigel hiatus happened before it all.
Pre-tariff tequila.
Well, because I understand getting the Hammer and Nigel barrel the select barrel in was in and of itself a challenge.
Yeah, getting stuff across the border.
Except if you're a citizen.
Yeah.
Except if you're a human being.
Right.
Yeah,
come on in.
Non-citizen.
Glaze told me they hired 13 coyotes to bring our tequila across the border. I believe that's how it was.
With the police escort.
That's right.
Police escort. You probably think I'm here to celebrate and pontificate, big word of the day for me, Cinco de Mayo, but really I'm here to announce my third term as being tequila sales rep of the year. Third term. I'm
2028.
Throwing my name in the hat. I'm ready to go. Third term. Let me in. Let me get my name on the ballot, please.
Kristen Welker's on the hotline. She's got questions already.
Yeah.
Hey, we were talking off the air a little bit. When the Pacers have an evening playoff game, now last night was a Sunday night, which normally I don't know if that's a busy time at the Ale Emporium or not, but when the Pacers have a primetime game in the playoffs, do you guys pack the joint?
100%. It totally helps business. And at the Ale, we're very blessed to have great customers come in and support us day in and day out. But yeah, I mean, when the local teams are playing, Colts, Indians, Fuel, Butler, IU, yeah, we definitely see an increase in business, and it's why it's important.
And basically, every time you cook Hermanaki wings, it's packing the joint. So that's like every day. So forget about the sporting events. It's the food too, brother.
It is the food and the tequila.
If somebody wants to celebrate Cinco de Mayo tonight, what's going on at the Ale Emporium? Can they just walk up there and go, give me some tequila and then get out of my way? Or is there a certain...
Yeah, we've got not normally on the menu other than for lunch, we have tacos that we're featuring today. So, and taquitos. So, $10 special on some Mexican dishes all day.
I just want to make sure there is no specific hiatus tequila by Hammer and Nigel left.
Unfortunately, you guys did such a great job. There's no inventory. You know what? Actually, I lied. I was up in Fisher's the other day.
You stole one, didn't you?
I didn't steal it, but I think there's a bottle left on the back bar there that hasn't been consumed yet. So
Hammer and Nigel tequila by hiatus. One left in Fisher's.
Go up there and demand a Cinco de Mayo shot of that tonight.
Up at the Ale, yeah.
But we do have $8 hiatus margaritas on sale today at all locations.
Oh, that's great.
For Cinco.
What makes your tequila different? I know we've talked a lot about tequila since we rolled out our line, but if somebody's listening for the first time, they go to the liquor store, they see a bunch of different bottles of tequila up there. What separates hiatus?
Great question. Small batch, additive, preservative-free, made in the traditional method. We don't cut any corners, and we grow our agave to proper ripeness. I'll leave it right at that.
Agave.
Blue agave.
That's the key
Blue
word.
agave.
Those are the key words. Blue agave. This is a good kind of tequila. If you're trying to lose weight, but you still need a little alcohol in the system,
that's us.
This is hiatus right here. That's what hiatus is for. That's the good kind of sugar. That's a good kind of agave right there.
Yes. Like I said, no additives, no preservatives, no artificial flavor, coloring, everything else. Ground to glass, as we like to say.
Nice. Let us know when we're ready for a new round of Hammer and Nigel tequila.
I literally was talking to my partners, the founders, owners, just the other day about this, and we will have a major announcement for you guys. And you're going to be a big part of it here in probably in the next month or two at the latest, if not sooner.
Wow, I like it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I do have to put you on the spot. Are your passports up to date?
No, my wife has just got mine up to date. Yeah,
I'm working on mine because we got an Ireland trip coming up, so it's balls in motion.
Okay, I like the sound of that, though.
Yeah, so let's just plant that seed. So.
We're going to Iraq. Hammer and Nigel roll out of tequila in Baghdad.
They have a lot of decent agave in Iraq as well as Mexico.
We got a little something here. You brought us some libations. What are we drinking to?
We're drinking the Blanco. So just pure, simple, clean Blanco. Drink it straight or put it in your favorite cocktail.
Go Pacers.
Cheers. Go Pacers. Cheers. The good stuff, as Nigel likes to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Perfect.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings did such a killer job on my old, cracked, uneven, stained, unmaintained garage floor. My Galaxy Concrete garage floor is out of this world. They did such a good job. I just had them back a few weeks ago. They went down into my basement, my utility room, and gave that whole thing a brand new coating as well. Looks fantastic. So they can do your garage and or your basement like they did mine. They can do your pool deck, any indoor, outdoor area, concrete. Check out their website. Check out pictures. Get a quote. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com. That's who I use. Give them a call, 751-9070.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
You can be a hero at the finish line when you say yes to organ donation. I'm Jake Query, sports talk show host and auto racing announcer, and I hear so many stories about how organ donation saves lives. Like the 5 lives saved by race car driver Brian Clausen, who was an organ donor after he tragically passed away in a racing accident in 2016. You can be a hero when you say yes to organ donation the next time you're at the BMV. Learn more at driventosavelives.org.
I'm sure everyone says this, but my mom really deserves the world. This year, I finally found a Mother's Day gift that comes close. She loves Hellsberg, so I'm getting her these timeless gold earrings she can enjoy for years to come. They feel special enough to show how much I truly appreciate everything she does for me. And I mean everything. I even sent my dad a link to the Diamond Eternity band he'll be getting her, too.
Save up to 50% on Mother's Day gifts Mom will cherish forever. Visit Hellsberg.com or a store near you.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A deputy involved, a suspect shot. You've got nothing on radar in central Indiana this afternoon, but you do have some showers down in the southern part of the state. A 30% chance that you could see perhaps a shower or sprinkle here. Right now it's 58 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending for Moss Roofing. The shooting this afternoon outside the Hendricks County Courthouse in Danville. Captain Jim Yetter is a spokesperson for the Sheriff's Department.
I can confirm that, yes, we are on the scene outside the courthouse of an officer-involved shooting. The suspect was shot, but no one else is injured. And the scene is secured, so there's no danger to the community.
He tells WIBC News that's all the information that he can give you at this point because Indiana State Police are taking over the investigation since it's a shooting involving a deputy. WIBC News spoke with Indiana State Police Sergeant John Perrine, who confirmed that 2 deputies were actually involved in the shooting. They were helping transport some inmates to the courthouse for court proceedings. Those inmates were taken inside the courthouse once that person confronted deputies and was shot. The suspect is dead. The inmates were taken inside and are safe. The incident is over with, but the investigation still has a long way to go. President Trump announcing a 100% tariff on movies produced outside of the U.S. Fox Business's Max Gordon from Hollywood.
In recent years, Hollywood has been struggling with movie producers more and more moving their productions overseas to shoot in foreign countries. So could Trump's tariff plan save Hollywood? California Governor Gavin Newsom's office responding to the swipe saying looks like it's distraction day again in Washington, D.C. But President Trump's order does highlight a real economic issue in American filmmaking. Countries all around the world now offer tax credits as high as 35%, and this is luring productions away from the U.S. and Hollywood.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. M-O-S-S. mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
93 WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
Yeah, Chris, looking at northbound 6570 downtown crash of Fletcher. Blocking the left lane, causing stop-and-go traffic into the south split. That backs up eastbound as 70 to Harding Street. Also looking at inbound 65, 3-minute delay from 21st to Meridian Penn. North side, eastbound 465, slow roll Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Serious crash on the east side. This is Compton at East 61st Street. We have a car on its side, 3-vehicle crash. Somebody's hurt in this. Traffic sponsored by Indy Donor Network. This may be a hero at the finish line. Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives remind you to say yes to organ donation the next time you're at the BMV. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Spotty showers possible until our Monday night with lows falling into the upper 40s. Then we're warmer for Tuesday with skies turning partly sunny and a touch breezy at times. Highs will find their way into the lower 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gunday with the gun guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Wilford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Also joining us live in studio as he does every Monday. The Gun Guy, Guy Relford, host of the Gun Guy Show, Saturdays here on 93 WIBC, licensed firearms instructor, and boy, he knows his stuff. He is a scholar. He is a 2A scholar, according to one noted local television journalist, but he is most importantly a 2A advocate and 2A attorney. Guy, how are you?
Man, thanks so much. That was a hell of an introduction. That was maybe the best ever.
I do consider you a scholar. You're a scholar.
I'm great, and thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gunday. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, with the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located in the farmhouse right out front. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
I'll start out by saying that I just hate when I hear these road rage stories.
Oh, man.
They're every week on the news locally here. I mean, on Friday, we had a story of road rage where a 12-year-old boy got shot in another car because of road rage. And I know you had a discussion with Indiana State Police John Prine.
Yes.
From the public information officer there. And I was wondering kind of what the substance that was and the overall perspective of these road rage incidents. And boy, especially at 12 years old.
Oh, yeah, it's heartbreaking.
And he was the victim, not the assailant.
No, exactly. And Sergeant Perrine and I, have gone back and forth multiple times talking about an issue that is of interest to both of us. Because, listen, as a Second Amendment advocate, what I don't want to see is people using their guns when use of a gun is just simply not appropriate.
Of course not.
At the same time, I mean, I'm currently involved in multiple cases where someone legitimately needed to use force in self-defense, during a quote-unquote road rage incident. So the key is to separate the two. But the numbers shocked me, and the reason I'm glad we're talking about it here on your guys' show today is that the numbers are shocking. And Sergeant Perrine shared with me that in Indy, so we're basically talking 465 and in, Indiana State Police investigated 70 shootings on interstates during road rage incidents just last year.
70 road rage shootings in Indy. That's ridiculous.
70, and get this, they also got 250 calls for someone pointing a firearm during a road rage incident. So you're upset, you're mad, you're road raging back and forth with someone next to you in a car, and you pull your gun out and point it at them. That's a crime in Indiana. That's a felony. If that's a loaded firearm, that's a level 6 felony. You go to jail, you lose your civil liberties for a damn long time. And they had 250 of those just in 1 year.
Dude, we had that story of the guy, it was on camera, that got out of his car and started pointing his piece at somebody else, and the guy blew him away.
Well,
Do you
no,
know what
exactly.
I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I know exactly the video you're talking about, and we talked about it at length here on the Hammer and Nigel show. And you're right. And listen, none of my comments should be taken to say that if someone's really legitimately trying to hurt you and you're protecting yourself or your family from serious bodily injury, you have a right to use force in self-defense. And again,
Totally.
I have several of those cases pending right now. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about when you're just mad and somebody's cut you off or somebody's flipped you off or someone's, mouthed the obscenity to you through the window. Don't go to your gun. I'm telling you, because pointing a firearm...
I've never pointed a gun at anyone. Thank you very much.
I know you never pointed a gun, but you've pointed that middle finger at plenty of people.
I've pointed that a lot.
and listen...
I'm the willpower of driving on 465.
Like on my show, I'm always talking about my gun law class that I'm pitching, and I have one coming up this weekend. But during that class, I literally take 20 minutes and I talk about... And I asked this question to classes that I teach. I've been teaching for 20 years. I say, there's one scenario that involves the actual majority of my cases where I'm defending reckless homicide or criminal recklessness, I should say, criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon, or intimidation with a deadly weapon, or pointing a firearm. Those are all felonies. And again, it's criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon. And I go, what scenario do you think that is? And people say, oh, well, it's, somebody not kicking your door in at night, or it's this, that, or the other thing. And I'll say, no, it's the same scenario. It's road rage. And everybody's shocked. Everybody looks at each other and goes, no way, road rage. I go, yes. People get so insanely angry while they're driving, and then too many people want to grab their gun because now they're a tough guy, now they're a tough lady, now they can win the argument, now they can make somebody back off. But if you're not justified in using deadly force in self-defense, and certainly if you point your firearm at someone, you're committing a crime, and that's a serious crime that you can be prosecuted, and it's a felony.
So with those insane statistics that you just rattled off here at the beginning of this segment, what's your response when you hear the anti-gun crowd say, this is what happens when you've got constitutional carry? Anybody can take their gun anywhere. Next thing you know, you've got road rage on 465 all the time.
Well, that's when we as gun owners need to take a step back and realize we need to do better. And that's exactly why I wanted to talk about this here on the show. And I'm so glad you guys brought it up because we as gun owners need to do better, because whenever people are out doing things that are either illegal or irresponsible or certainly dangerous to other people with their firearms, we're inviting additional restriction on our rights. That's why I'm so harsh on gun owners that are irresponsible and do dangerous things. And certainly when you're waving your gun around just because you're mad at the car next to you, that falls in that category. So I think we have to do a better job as gun owners of taking a deep breath, leaving the gun in the console, leaving the gun in the holster, wherever it happens to be, and just dealing with the situation. And listen, it's never a bad idea. And I know it's hard. I have a temper like anybody else, maybe more than some, but it's never a bad idea to disengage. It's never a bad idea to hit the brakes, take the next exit, do what you got to do to just get away from a tough situation. We all want to win, right? We all want to win the argument. We want to, be, superior to the other person who's messing with us. It's just never a bad idea, especially if you got a gun in the car. Just take a deep breath, take the next exit, and don't go to jail over something that just it basically was a loss of emotions on the interstate.
And there's the flip side of that coin to where you were kind of alluding to that. Like, I don't honk my horn anymore unless there's somebody that's going to ram me, then they don't know it. Like, that's what I always lecture my co-host here, Hammer, about. He's an aggressive horn layer honor.
I'm getting more shrapnel on this segment than the guy that fired the shot at 465.
He's an aggressive flipper offer, and I go, man, you can't. I go, you don't. But I'm telling him this just because of what you're talking about right now, because there are crazy SOBs that will take a flip. Somebody flip them off, and they will reach for their gun, and you just don't know who is out there, and it's scary.
And listen, we see those news reports from all across the country, plus right here, in Indy, where somebody's just mad, somebody's flipping somebody's off, flipping somebody off, using their horn. Next thing you know, they're getting shot at. So, and that's not worth it. So, man, I'll tell you what, and it's tough for me. Like I said, I have as much of a temper as anybody, but taking a deep breath and de-escalating is always the right answer. It's always the right answer.
Come back for one more segment?
You betcha.
Monday Gunday with the gun guy, Guy Relford, here on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Yeah, guys, summer is here, man. Basically, it's time for gatherings, time with friends and family, activities, holidays. You know how it is, but how are you going to keep up if low testosterone levels are draining your energy? The answer, TRT with Low T Center. Got to trust the experts. The Low T Center has been changing patients' lives for over 15 years. They understand what guys need. All treatments start with a thorough in-person consultation, and they make it easy to get started with the quality of care you deserve.
And guys, if you're looking to lose a few pounds, the Low T Center, they've got you covered with prescription weight loss medication. So book your appointment right now at a Low T Center near you. Most major insurance is accepted, so you've got no excuse. It really is your one-stop shop for all things men's health. So go right now to fixmylowt.com to book that appointment. Fixmylowt.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a D-SNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A D-SNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana D-SNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get zero down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Fishers and Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota, or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
Hey, who's winning? What? Who's winning? Somebody spinning?
Race fans know the track is loud. For the hard of hearing, this confusion happens every day on the telephone. RelayIndiana.com can help. RelayIndiana.com is a free service that provides telephone access to the hard of hearing, so users have normal phone conversations through relay operators. Relay Indiana also provides free equipment to those who qualify. Enjoy the race and phone conversations. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market. Even in winter, we're bringing you the best in farm fresh flavors. Stop in for our fresh salad bar, hot and crispy wing bar, and a cheese selection that is second to none. Got a sweet tooth? Our homemade pies, creamy fudge, and old-fashioned candy will hit the spot. Come see us on US 31 just north of Carmel. We're open every day 9 to 6. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about fresh, local, and delicious. See you soon.
B&W's Premier Club membership goes a long way to prevent heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical problems. Go to bplusw.com.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer. This May, be a hero at the finish line. Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives reminds you to say yes to organ donation the next time you're at the BMV.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Tony Katz all week for your chance to win tickets to the PPG Armed Forces qualifying on May 17th at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. More info at WIBC.com.
We have that exact same contest on our show coming up here in about an hour or so. Hey, Matt Bear, how the heck are you?
What's happening, Hammer? Looking at a crash in Beach Grove.
So bizarre.
Yeah. Your lips to God's ears. Looking at a crash, Emerson Avenue at Thompson Road. Also a crash, East 61st Street at Compton. That's a rollover, and pickup truck on its side, 3 vehicles. It's a mess. Just avoid 61st at Compton Street, please. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic Belmont into the south split. Northbound 6570, crash clear at Fletcher. Inbound 65, slow 29th to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Donor Network. This May, you can be a hero at the finish line. Say yes to organ donation and talk to your family about your decision. A message from Indiana Donor and Network and driven to save lives. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, cloudy skies, 60 degrees at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. It's Monday Gunday with the gun guy, Guy Relford. Guy, let's keep it here in Indy. Sounds like there was a situation in Seymour that could have been really bad. Now we're looking at it as an unsuccessful school shooting. Some hero, I guess you could call him, saved the day in the library.
Yeah, this is really interesting, and there are conflicting reports coming out of Seymour, so we're still looking for more information. But what is reportedly happened is that a person who was actually 18-year-old student at the high school went to Seymour High School just on Friday with the intent of committing a school shooting. And the reports that I read out of the local media down there is he couldn't get in to the high school. And his goal was that apparently he had some kind of a grudge against a school resource officer who was going to go in, try to shoot him and who knows who else in the high school, but couldn't get in. And then went then to a different building, the public library in Seymour, shot through a glass door, which is, he went through one door, couldn't get in the next, shot through that door, went on in, and then fumbled around with a gun. The gun wasn't functioning appropriately, a shotgun reportedly, and then a hero there in Seymour tackled this guy, took the gun away from him, and held him for police. But one thing that jumped out at me about this whole thing, again, the reports coming out of Seymour were he tried to go to the high school and he couldn't get in. And that was a big thing to me.
That's good news, right?
That's great news, because what I've been talking about for a long time is that interrupting, stopping, preventing mass shootings, especially school shootings. With schools, you always want to look at risk intervention. You want to identify these people that are risk, because how many times do we hear this? Oh, he was on our radar, but then he still ended up shooting up whatever it is, a school or a mall or whatever it is. So let's identify those people that are at risk for doing these kinds of things. Let's get them the help they need. Or if we fail that and their intent is to commit a school shooting, let's keep them out of the school. And we hear these ridiculous things like, oh, we don't want to turn our schools into prisons, and I don't want my kid going to a school that operates like a prison. Look, you don't have a hard time going through security when you get on an airplane to go on vacation. You don't have a hard time with the fact that to get into a government building, that protects our politicians better than we do our kids, you have to go through security.
Heck, you go to a Pacers or a Colts game, you go through security.
Exactly. And they don't have a problem taking their kid to a Colts game or a Pacer game. They don't have a problem taking their kid on a vacation to go through security at the airport. But suddenly they're upset about security we want to put in schools. No, hell no. Schools ought to be secure. And listen, we'll see what the final facts are that come out of Seymour, but it sounds like Seymour High School did exactly what they should have been doing, which is kept the bad guy out. And who knows how many lives they saved in the process. So I just wanted to give a shout out to that, because it sounds like they may have actually saved lives.
Like the elementary school my kid goes to, if I show up at the door with her late, if I get back from the orthodontist or something an hour late and I have to drop her off, if there's another family going in ahead of me through these doors, you have to ring the doorbell, and then they say, who are you? Who are you here to see? Like, when that door opens, I can't just go in with that other family.
Right.
They close the door behind me, and I have to ring the doorbell again and say, hey, This is Nigel. This is my daughter. We're here to see so-and-so, dropping her off late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see what I'm getting at here? There could be 4 families lined up, and they close the door each time. It's a fortress.
It's like the parking gate. If one person opens it up, you can't go right after them.
Absolutely.
But as annoying or time-consuming as that might be, that is designed, obviously, we're all agreeing, to save kids' lives and administrators and teachers' lives. And that's why I don't have a problem with it. That's what we need to do in this country.
If somebody wants to hire you as an attorney, if they want to be trained by you in terms of firearm safety, or maybe they've just got questions, how can they find you?
On Twitter, or X as we're calling it now, at Guy Relford. I'm trying to build that following. It's at Guy Relford on Twitter.
And then the Monday Gunday segment is here every Monday at 3:35, and your own show Saturdays at 5.
The Gun Guy Show, 5 to 7 on Saturdays, 5 to 7 p.m.
Guy, you're the best. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We've got a fun announcement coming up next. We're excited about this. That announcement coming up next.
So my man David in Martinsville bought the dream property, right? But they had to sell their old place with land by the end of the year to avoid a big tax hit. Kind of made a mistake. They hired an agent friend who gave him no activity for months. That's when David heard about real estate expert Mark Dietl on our show. Mark's team took over, got the property sold in plenty of time.
What separates Mark Dietl from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That's right. He will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Nobody else is doing this, and nobody deserves your trust like Mark Dietl. Call him today, 317-755-4232, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Many nonprofits struggle with staffing issues, but through the Senior Community Service Employment Program, or CSEP, 501(c)(3)s with limited budgets can get cost-free supplemental employees while helping train people 55 and over for a new career. Trainees are motivated, reliable employees, and their wages are completely covered by the Indiana Department of Workforce Development. To learn more, go to backtowork.dwd.in.gov. That's backtowork.dwd.in.gov.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
At Hendricks, your cancer care is in the details.
You have questions, and our dedicated clinicians and expert oncologists will answer them.
You have hills to climb,
and we are going to climb them.
You have dreams, and we're here to help you chase them.
You have cancer, and you have all the expertise,
the determination, and the kindness of the entire Hendricks team.
Backed by Mayo Clinic expertise.
It's not just cancer care.
It's Teresa Care. Visit hendricks.org/cancer.
It's now open. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg, right in front of Premier Arms on Green Street. You got to see the selection. Newly expanded, the gold, the diamonds, the silver, the gemstones, the local artists, and of course, that watch collection. Guys, you got to trust me on this one right here. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg, 317-456-4010. That's 456-4010. Or find them online at pajewelers.jewelry. That's pajewelers.jewelry.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
News. 19 Democrat-led states plus D.C. are now suing the Trump administration over cuts to health and human services.
New York Attorney General Letitia James said slashes she equates to a wrecking ball.
Fired scientists, closed labs, shuttered life-saving programs.
James said one such entity, the World Trade Center Health Program, is at risk. Retired New York City firefighter Gary Smiley said people in this program
who survived one of the most horrific attacks on this country are now worried that their insurance is going to go away.
HHS Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. says the cuts are to reduce redundancies and streamline from an annual budget of about $1.7 trillion.
Fox's Gernal Scott. The U.S. Treasury chief makes the case for tariffs at a West Coast conference.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told the investors and CEOs at the Milken Institute's global conference the U.S. is still the safest place to invest. He said the goal with tariffs is meant to encourage companies to set up shop in the U.S.
Hire your workers here, build your factories here, make your products here. You'll be glad you did, not only because we have the most productive workforce in the world, but because we will soon have the most favorable tax and regulatory environment as well.
After the conference, he said in a television interview he's confident 17 trading partners have presented new proposals. And on China, he said we could see substantial progress on trade in the coming weeks.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Some business leaders remain cautious. The Citigroup CEO says tariff uncertainty has led to a pause on investments and hiring for many clients. A search continues off the San Diego coast for 9 people missing after a boat possibly carrying migrants capsized early today. The Coast Guard says 3 people were killed, 4 injured. Stocks finished lower after a mixed day overall. The Dow down 98 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The shooting at the Hendricks County Courthouse in Danville. It's overcast now on Monument Circle. Radar is showing some sprinkles down in southern Indiana. None here in the central part of the state, but you do have a 30% chance that you could see some sprinkles or showers this afternoon. It's 59 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02.
The suspect went down where he was at, and he has been pronounced deceased here at the scene.
Indiana State Police Sergeant John Perrine at the Hendricks County Courthouse, where a suspect was shot and killed about 1 p.m. John Herrick has the story.
2 Hendricks County deputies were transporting a group of inmates to the courthouse for court proceedings around 1 o'clock. State Police Sergeant John Perrine says when they arrived at the courthouse, they took out all the inmates and started walking inside.
At which time we believe they were confronted by this man who was at the courthouse already, outside the courthouse. The man displayed a firearm.
Then Perrine says the man was shot and killed by one of the deputies. It's not clear if he was pointing his gun at the inmates or the police. Now the cops are looking through surveillance video for more information.
As you might imagine, the investigation might take quite a while. Perrine says they are not able to discuss a motive yet. The dead man's name has not been released. The courthouse is closed for now, and state police are using that for their base of operations while they look into the shooting. Another shooting involving police. This happened April 15th. You might remember it. An arrest was made today. 47-year-old Dale Evans of Poland arrested by a state trooper as he was released from the hospital on several charges. Clay County deputies say Evans tried to run down some deputies and other police officers with a stolen U-Haul. Some people who study the economy believe the RV industry is a good indicator of what's happening with the economy. Now layoffs are being announced. They're all part of the same company, Thor, which is based in Sturgis, Michigan. The layoffs expected June 20th, according to paperwork filed with the state. That includes 251 people at Cruiser RV in Howe, 147 people at Heartland RV in Elkhart and Middlebury, and 51 people at DRV RV, also in Howe. Workers were informed last month they got got the specifics today. You've got traffic and weather coming up.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct, and May is officially the kickoff to home improvement season. And right now, during their home improvement season sale, you'll get an incredible 50% off your windows. Yes, half off. You heard right. You can upgrade your home with beautiful energy-efficient windows for half the cost. But it gets even better. For a limited time, you'll get no interest and no payments for 12 months. That's a whole year to enjoy your new windows before you pay a single cent. And here's the cherry on top. You'll receive a free entry door with your window purchase. Now, some restrictions may apply, so to get all the information and schedule your free in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today at 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Universal Windows Direct's home improvement season sale. Half off your windows, no interest, no payments for 12 months. 317-659-7574. Tell them Rob sent you.
93 WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, looking at a medical emergency on the west side, southbound 465, exiting to West 10th Street. The ramp is open, but it is partially blocked. Northbound 65 into the south split, slow from Raven. Eastbound 70, slow from West Street into the south split. Inbound 65, slow roll 29th to Meridian Penn. North side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Spotty showers possible until our Monday night with lows falling into the upper 40s. Then we're warmer for Tuesday with skies turning partly sunny and a touch breezy at times. Highs will find their way into the lower 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Oh, boy. My name is Nigel. Woo! I'm going to hand it over to Jason Hammer. We have a very big, very fun, very exciting announcement for everybody.
To set the mood properly,
yes,
I feel like we need the assistance of Anchorman Ron Burgundy.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
It's official. Hammer and Nigel show live at Carb Day this year. It's going down, baby.
No way.
Beer
Finally.
Sample Friday at Carb Day. The biggest beer sample Friday of the year. The Hammer and Nigel show broadcasting live from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m. Garage 23 near Gasoline Alley.
Yeah.
This is part of the Hensley Legal Group Command Center. We will be set up. We will have the celebrity beer bong. We will have the debauchery, and we will be live at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on Carb Day.
About time.
Let's go, baby.
About damn time.
We have been waiting for a long time. All the other stations get to go.
Oh, the music stations.
The hip-hop channel, the Spanish channel. JMV's always out there. But we will be out there this year, too. So look for us at Carb Day, Garage 23 near Gasoline Alley. It's the Hensley Legal Group Command Center. Man, that has got the opportunity to have the wheels fall off, Nigel.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm already scheduling my Uber to work here downtown, and then I'm going to hitch a ride with you down to Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
You bum.
Yeah, I know.
Such a bum.
At least you're not taking me home. At least you're already going there, right?
Correct.
Right?
I believe the coupon lady will be there.
No, is she coming with us?
Yeah. If you haven't seen Coupon Lady at Carb Day,
well, I saw her at
put your big boy pants on because you're about to see the Hot Mess Express, baby. Choo choo.
Oh man, and tons of special guests coming through. I'm assuming that 4-hour period that we were broadcasting at Carb Day out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway garage. What was it, 23?
Yes, 23. Okay. And thanks to the Hensley Legal Group Command Center. So mark your calendars. Take the day off. If you got tickets already, join us. A friend of the show, Brett Michaels, is going to be performing that night on the stage. The last practice before the 500.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to have a good time, and we hope to see all of you there. Now, before that, don't forget our Tales from the Track event presented by Relay Indiana. That's the Monday before. So we start race week doing Tales from the Track with Graham Rahal. And yes, Jack Daniels is fired up to provide the spirits to that sold-out event. You can win tickets still at the contest page at WIBC.com. Yeah, but that event is sold out.
You can still go.
And then that Friday, we will be wrapping up at Carb Day.
2 road shows for the Hammer and Nigel program.
To quote Al Michaels, do you believe in miracles? Yes. Love it. And there's another exciting thing happening in between those. If everything goes right, Nige, Benjamin Ritchie is going to be executed here in the state of Indiana. And I say I hope everything goes right because today was one of the clemency hearings for this scumbag.
Yeah.
Now, for those who don't know who Benjamin Ritchie is, he is the piece of human excrement that killed the police officer in my hometown back in 2002, Officer William Toney with the Beech Grove Police Department. And this little needle wiener thinks he's a big celebrity. He does all these interviews, MSNBC shows, documentaries, got the badge number of the officer put on his neck, called the grieving widow in court every name under the sun. Now he's trying to have a clemency hearing saying, well, my parents drank while they were pregnant with me, so maybe I had fetal alcohol syndrome and couldn't control myself. Seems like he controlled himself pretty well in these interviews. He knew what he was doing there. I hope the clemency board understands this crap and does not fall for it. The judge didn't fall for Honest Gabe Whitley's crap when he had his sentencing last week, and I'm hoping the clemency board sees the same with Benjamin Ritchie. Let's shift gears to the swamp, shall we? Now, Jen Psaki is the former press secretary to Joe Biden.
Yeah, about 1.5 years.
If you need a little reminder of what she looked like, here's President Donald Trump.
The press secretary with the extremely red hair.
Oh, that's her.
That's her, right. Okay. She was doing a new interview on the Mixed Signals podcast. I have no idea what the Mixed Signals podcast is.
Her career is going very well.
And she's doing the same old song and dance that a lot of these butt sniffers are right now. The media as a whole is being called out for covering up Joe Biden's mental decline. Jen Psaki was asked about it, and of course, she's playing the hits.
I left in May of 2022, just for the facts here. And I have seen Biden once since then, when I took my daughter to the holiday party this last December after he had lost. And so I hadn't seen him in person during that period of time. I never saw that person, not a single time. And I was in the Oval Office every day that was on that debate stage. I'm not a doctor. Aging happens quite quickly. Were things that people saw during that period of time that were similar to that or would have been in a category of that? I don't know, possibly, right? And all these books are going to tell us.
Like, do you think that were they actively covering it up? Were they sort of in denial? Yes. Or was that just a bad debate? Like, what is your read on that?
Well, this is what I mean about cover up is a very loaded term, I think.
Well, it means you knew that it was really bad and you're pretending otherwise versus you're deluding yourself, which I think is what people do a lot.
Well, I understand, but I still think it's like cover up is often like a crime, right? We're talking when people use that term.
They say it's worse than the crime.
And I think it's a bit of a dangerous term.
You knew exactly that dude was a walking corpse. He couldn't walk upstairs. He couldn't walk downstairs. He spoke gibberish all the time. And it wasn't just Jen Psaki. It was pretty much the majority of the media outside of Fox and a few others. Every single one of them were lockstep with that assessment.
And she left 1.5 years into her gig as White House press secretary because she knew she was on the Titanic and she had a gig at MSNBC waiting for her, which is probably paying 7 figures. And now all these people, you talk about all these books that are coming out. There's multiple books coming out now about the mental decline or what people know, what people didn't know about Joe Biden's mental acuity during his presidency. Jake Tapper from CNN, probably the most prominent one, releasing a book. All these people lied to you.
All of them did.
They all lied to you about what they knew and what they saw out of the president because they had access to him.
It's not a lie if you believe it. George Costanza once said that on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And
he believes it.
I present to you Morning Joe, okay?
Yeah.
Joe Scarborough at MSNBC. This soundbite I'm about to play, this wasn't like the first month of Joe Biden's presidency. This was just a few weeks before that disastrous debate.
But comparing that guy's mental state, I've said it for years now. He's cogent.
Cogent.
But I undersold him when I said he was cogent.
Cogent.
He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, start your tape right now because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
Cogent. That's my favorite impression you do of anybody.
Thank
is
you.
of Morning Joe saying Joe Biden's cogent. He knew the truth, and then he later backed off of it. And then after Donald Trump was elected president, he went down to Mar-a-Lago to kiss the ring.
Right. Now, he tried to play this angle of, I've got a personal connection with Joe. My home-wrecking TV wife's got a personal connection with Joe. He's fine. Trust us. That was just a few weeks before that disastrous debate. But it was also after speech after speech, fall after fall of Joe Biden. How many times did we have to play Gibberish Man clips? Now, let this sink in. That little speech that Morning Joe gave that we just played for you came after this.
And now, time for another conversation with Gibberish Man. He's the Gibberish Man, he's the Gibberish Man. He talks in gibberish, gibberish man. Oh, you can't understand the Gibberish Man, because he talks in gibberish, gibberish man. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gibberish Man.
Beer brewed here, it is used to make the brew beer in this fine. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lake.
No, you can't understand the Gibberish Man, because he talks in gibberish, gibberish man.
Cogent. He's more than cogent. Matt Bear.
Inbound 65, 4-minute delay, 29th and 2 Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow from Harding Street into the South Split. And from an earlier crash, northbound 65 still dragging from Raymond up to Fletcher Avenue. North side, eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. And then a crash. This is Emerson Avenue and Thompson Road on the south side. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
60 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And we're going to do a little contest that's a little different today. We've got tickets to qualifications out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indy 500. But last week, we did a YouTube contest. Today, it's going to be a Twitter contest. Okay, so make sure you follow Hammer and Nigel on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Anybody that retweets our pinned article that we just put up promoting our Carb Day show, anybody that retweets that, you are in the drawing for the tickets. Doesn't cost you anything. Just retweet the official Hammer and Nigel Show live at Carb Day post that we have pinned at the top. And sometime in the next 24 hours, we will pick a winner at random. What do you got to lose, right? So just retweet that at Hammer and Nigel. Make sure you follow us, retweet it, and then we'll use the generator and randomly pick somebody to win those tickets to qualifications out at the Motor Speedway. Do not go anywhere. We got a fun round of Is This Anything next.
Promises made,
promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower. Future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Kevin Reinhardt says this family-owned business has a lot of pride in their work.
Danny started the business back in 1986 here in Danville, and we take a lot of pride in the town of Danville with a lot of repeat customers, people that I've known basically all my life. And it's just nice to continue to do the service that they trust for over 30 years.
You can trust Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, 317-745-4526. Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Guys, don't waste time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts at the Low T Center for a free consultation and a free test. Treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurances accept it. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment right now at the Low T Center. Offer is limited, but book right now. FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tamara and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by B&W HVAC, Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
Tamara and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Oh, yeah, and we're brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. The Attorney General's office wants to reunite Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week.
Every damn night.
Fast, easy, and free to search. Just go to indianaunclaimed.gov. Type in your name, type in your mom's name, type in your sister.
You found some money.
Name. I found some money. I got a couple $100 waiting on me from indianaunclaimed.gov.
Is this anything? Realtors in Florida are being warned of a man that's trying to touch women's feet during open house showings. Here is Angela, a Pinellas County realtor, explaining her encounter with the foot fetish dude.
He pointed down at my feet and was like, "Oh, you have an ant on your shoe." And I was like, "Where?" And I'm frantic trying to get the ant off my shoe. And I'm like, "Where?" And he's like, "Right there, right there." And he bends down and he starts unbuckling my shoe and caressing my foot. And I just thought that was really weird. At the same time, he's fidgeting with his phone, petting my foot, fidgeting the phone. And I think he's trying to take some type of a video up my skirt. It was really alarming.
Jeez.
Yeah, this is something, although at what point does she realize, hey, you've got an ant on your foot, and then he's unbuckling your shoe and reaching for his phone? I would be like, you've got the upper hand. He's down on his knees. Kick him in the face.
In the face!
In the face. That's bizarre. Yeah, I would say he's got a foot fetish. Is his name happen to be Rex Ryan?
He's never going to live that down, is he?
Former coach of the Jets into the real estate game in Florida.
He went on Hard Knocks that year they had the Jets, and there was a scene where he was pretty much talking about his foot fetish.
He admits it. He embraces it. But this guy is something different. And, I would say, be careful if you're alone in a strange house with a strange man and he says, "Oh, you have ants on your shoes. Let me go ahead and get that." And then all of a sudden he starts unbuckling your shoes and caressing your feet.
Yeah.
Time to start using that leg, using that calf, using that foot. Put it right up against his jaw and knock him the F out.
And remember that, ladies. Ants on your feet is that a skeeter on your Peter? You're not going to like what's going to happen next, so just take that defensive stance and go full Pat McAfee on him. That's what you got to do. Is this anything?
What's the song? Is there a...
Well, it's not a song that I created. It's a song that I learned growing up.
I understand. How does it go? Can you say it?
There's a skeeter on my Peter, knock it off. There's a skeeter on my Peter, knock it off. There's a skeeter on my Peter. There's a skeeter on my Peter. There's a skeeter on my Peter, knock it off. See, Allison knew she was clapping along.
But it's not knock it off either.
There's another verse that I don't feel comfortable going forward with.
It's catchy, you gotta admit.
I love how Allison was clapping over there.
Ever since I've learned it from Hammer, I just have to clap along.
Allison hates pretty much everything we do, but I start breaking out Skeeter and my Peter. It's like she's front row at Taylor Swift. Yeah!
One more time.
Let's do one more here.
Oh, thank you for that.
Dateline, Florida. Again, a community in Florida is being terrorized by a man who throws groceries through the windows of homes, including frozen meat and canned corn. Here are the neighbors talking about allegedly being terrorized by some dude.
We threw it back in his yard a couple times, and he threw it back after a while.
I called the lady who lives there, because she lives in Canada, to explain that Earl had attacked her house again. She just put $500 into repairing it, and the next week he threw stuff through the windows again.
Someday he's going to hurt somebody.
Most of us are senior citizens, and we're afraid to walk down our own street.
Maybe he's just trying to donate food to the senior citizens.
Here's your canned ham, you old bag. Shatters the window. I don't think that's how that's working, Nige.
I don't know what else to think. Like, why would you throw perfectly good frozen meat through somebody's window unless you wanted them to have it and thought they were struggling? And he is the paper boy of frozen meat and canned goods. He's a hero in my book. That's
so in your
something.
mind, there's an elderly couple. They're sitting in their living room.
Yes.
Maybe they're watching a rerun of Matlock. Maybe it's Price is Right. And the husband looks to his wife. They've been married for 50 years and says, "Honey, didn't we order some canned corn the other day?"
Yeah.
and then it comes firing through the window like a bullet. Psh! Oh, there it is. Thank that young man for delivering our canned corn. That's how it played out.
He's the Robin Hood of groceries. Yes.
Allison, can you take us home with your rendition of Skeeter on My Peter?
Yes.
There's a Skeeter in my Peter, knock it off.
Clap, clap.
There's a Skeeter in my Peter, knock it off.
Clap, clap.
What's the next?
There's a Skeeter in my Peter.
There's a Skeeter in my Peter. There's a Skeeter in my Peter, knock it off.
Clap, clap.
And it's not knock it off either.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Masters Heating and Cooling is ready to make sure you are cool and comfortable all summer long. They took great care of my system, and they can help you make sure that everything is ready to go to ensure a nice, comfortable summer and then a very comfortable winter. I've worked with their general manager, David, numerous times, and it has always been a pleasure. And right now, you can get $500 off a new AC system. And if you've worked with Masters before and you've spent more than $500 on AC repairs in the last year, you can apply that amount as a credit towards a new system as well. Masters Heating and Cooling makes it easy. They've got flexible financing options and 24/7 service. So no matter what your issue, Masters Heating and Cooling is right there to take care of you and your family. Give Masters Heating and Cooling a call. 317-567-9505. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-567-9505. Or request service online at mastersindy.com. mastersindy.com.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
The Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay to stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year, rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Now it's finding out why it happened. No rain, but a lot of clouds here in central Indiana. Overcast on Monument Circle, where it is 59 degrees. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. No motive being discussed publicly yet. A man had a gun this afternoon and confronted deputies who shot and killed him in front of the Hendricks County Courthouse in Danville. About 1 o'clock, says Indiana State Police Sergeant John Perrine.
We will be reviewing as much footage as we can of the incident. Is our understanding that there were cameras in the area that captured every moment of the incident. That will be key to our investigation.
He tells WIBC state police are now leading the investigation, and they've got a lot of information to sift through before they can tell you why it happened. The man's name not yet made public, and for now, business as usual is not happening at the courthouse. They want our scientists. The European Union actively recruiting American scientists with grants because of the U.S. ending diversity policies. Here's Fox's Gernal Scott.
At an event billed Choose Europe for Science, the European Union pledged to set up a super grant program in excess of $566 million to entice scientists from America. French President Emmanuel Macron also offered his nation's commitment to more investment in science and research. The European Union called cuts to free research a miscalculation by U.S. policymakers. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
You probably saw that picture of President Trump dressed as the Pope. The president is now downplaying the reaction to that AI-generated picture. Fox's Jared Halpern from the White House.
An image of President Trump dressed as the Pope was shared on his social media page and posted on the official White House X account over the weekend.
I had nothing to do with it. Somebody made up a picture of me dressed like the Pope, and they put it out on the internet. That's not me that did it. I have no idea where it came from.
But the president dismissed concerns the image could be seen as offensive to Catholics.
It was just somebody did it in fun. It's fine. You have to have a little fun, don't you?
New York Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who is in Rome for the conclave, told reporters the social media post was not good. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
93 WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, southbound 65, stop and go traffic, MLK to Meridian Penn. That is a 6-minute delay. Eastbound 70 delayed by 3 minutes from Belmont into the South Split. Northbound 65, stop and go traffic from Raymond Street into the South Split because of road construction. A little maintenance going on, blocking the left lane. North side, eastbound 465, stop and go. Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Crash Emerson Avenue at Thompson Road, and police asking everybody to avoid the area around the Hendricks County Courthouse in Danville because of that earlier shooting. So if you could avoid the area, that would be awesome. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Donor Network. This may be a hero at the finish line. Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives remind you to say yes to organ donation the next time you're at the BMV. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Spotty showers possible until our Monday night with lows falling into the upper 40s. Then we're warmer for Tuesday with skies turning partly sunny and a touch breezy at times. Highs will find their way into the lower 70s. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I think it'd be awesome, Hammer, if Trump, we've heard the news that Trump wants to reopen Alcatraz, this big jail off San Francisco Bay. And I think it'd be awesome if he got the idea because he saw a replay or like something on late night cable of the Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery movie. I want to open the Rock. I saw The Rock the other day.
Such a great idea.
What a great movie. Stanley Goodspeed. Stanley Goodspeed by Nicolas Cage was great. Sean Connery was the only man to escape The Rock. We're going to open up Alcatraz.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it, man. Let's do it. Like, if you're going to go big, go big. Now, I don't know who's going to pay for this. I don't know if this is a taxpayer dollar thing, but if you're telling me it's an extra place to put bad guys, seems like that's running at a premium these days.
Well, I mean, there's El Salvador, there's Gitmo. I don't know. I would assume I keep on hearing Rikers Island is not a nice place to be there. And then The Rock. Alcatraz, which has been closed since the 60s, I think.
Right. If you're telling me my taxpayer dollars have to either fund NPR or open up The Rock. Open up The Rock. Let's put some bad dudes out there.
Open up The Rock.
And if they want to swim to their safety, this is my thing. If somebody can swim through that freezing-ass cold bay water, that's loaded with sharks, mind you. If they make it to the other side, I think they deserve to go free. That's the deal. We're going to put you in the middle of this bay. deep water. It's cold. It's a long swim. If you don't drown, if you don't freeze, if you don't get eaten by a shark, I think you're free to go.
Vanessa Marcel, so hot.
Oh, so hot.
Nicolas Cage's girlfriend, Stanley Goodspeed. I want to open the rock.
Can I read you the post that Trump put on Truth Social about this?
Please.
Now, I don't do a good Trump impression, so I'm just going to read it straight. Quote, rebuild and open Alcatraz. For too long, America has been plagued by vicious, violent, and repeat criminal offenders, the dregs of society who will never contribute anything other than misery and suffering. When we were a more serious nation in times past, we did not hesitate to lock up the most dangerous criminals and keep them far away from anyone they could harm. So he goes on and goes on and goes on. We will no longer be held hostage to criminals, thugs, and judges that are afraid to do their job and allow us to remove criminals who came into our country illegally. The reopening of Alcatraz, all in caps, will serve as a symbol of law, order, and justice, all in caps. We will make America great again, all in caps.
So you're a betting man. What are the odds that the United States government actually opens up Alcatraz? They rebuild it, they remodel it, they tear it down, build it back up. What are the odds? What kind of odds?
As much as I would love to see it, there's a better chance of Anthony Richardson winning the MVP award in the NFL this year than that happening. And again, that's something I'd love to see too.
And look, the only reason I ask that is because I swear to God, Trump does this stuff like the Pope meme where he's dressed as the Pope, or he's running, he's selling Trump 2028 hats.
Right.
He's running for a third term, which he already is. No, I'm not running for a third term, you moron.
Rob Kendall said it really good on his program earlier today. Donald Trump is like your buddy that also happens to be the president of the United States, right? He makes memes. Yeah. He talks smack. He's like the buddy you have that's fun to have at your backyard, cook out, just drinking some beers with you. But, oh, by the way, he's a billionaire and he's also the president of the United States.
That's a good description.
Because somebody's buddy would put a picture of themselves on there as the Pope, right? Somebody's buddy would say, Trump 2028. Somebody's buddy's like, open up the rock, throw them all out there, middle of the ocean.
I'll even get Michael Bay. Let's get Michael Bay. Great director.
We're going to rename San Francisco Bay Michael Bay. We're going to open up Alcatraz. And we're going to make Canada pay for it. I'm here for it all, man. I am here for it all. Man, we haven't done this. Haven't done this in a while. From the people who bring you legal stuff, from the people who brought you vaccine stuff, it's time for some religious stuff.
Oh, my.
God.
There's a God somewhere.
Satan. Donations.
Donations. I thought it was a trap.
Religious stuff.
Can I get a amen? I'm very happy to be here.
Dateline, North Carolina. Let's all meet Pam Escobar. Pam Escobar is a school board member at a district in North Carolina. She had an absolute fit, a conniption fit, because one of her fellow board members wanted to do a prayer before the school board meeting.
Oh.
I respectfully make a motion to include an invocation to our agenda and meetings moving forward.
How much prayer do you need? How much God do you need? We say under God, we say it. Why do we need to say more? Everyone who's sitting here still now are professionals. They come to work to dedicate their lives to children. They didn't come here to pray with you. If you want to pray with them, take them to church.
Now listen, I understand the argument on each side here. I'm never going to be somebody that says no to prayer, but at the same time, if you're somebody that doesn't believe in God, if you're somebody that doesn't believe in the Christian faith or the Catholic faith, and you believe in something else, maybe you're a snake handler, I don't know. Maybe this is a waste of time. Where are we at on this?
I think Pam Escobar needs to just settle down a little bit.
Pam, Pam, we're going to need you to settle down, Pam.
Yeah. I mean, how much? It's just like the gun grabber thing. How much ammo is enough? How many guns do you need? That doesn't matter. That doesn't work into the equation. I can have as many guns as I want. I can pray as much as I want. I can, whatever. All right. Maybe you can't bring guns into the school board meeting room.
But I see your point, though. Once you give these people a little authority to take away something that you want, they'll take a lot more. We learned that during COVID, right? Just wait 2 weeks. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That's all we're asking for. 2 weeks of your freedom. Well, how long did 2 weeks turn into?
Yeah, I mean, in 2020, this lady would have been up there at the podium. Excuse me, you only have one mask on. How many masks do I need? How many masks? We need at least 3 masks on for you to address the student council board.
How many grandmas do you want to kill? That's such a great point.
Wow. I mean, Pam Escobar, you Karen. You are such a Karen. Fine.
They had a vote, mind you, and it was overwhelmingly, yeah, we're going to do an invocation. We're going to do a prayer before the meeting. So, again, I'm playing the role here of the chairman of the school board. Hey, Pam, Pam, stop it.
Pipe down, Pam, pipe down.
No, you sit down, Pam. Pipe down. Amen. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
You know, one of the biggest differences about Indy Decorative Concrete, other than the fact that they do fantastic custom concrete patio work, the best in Indy, the other difference is they actually have W-2 employees, real concrete finishers that work for them, no subcontractors. They invest in their finishers and their employees, training and safety. I think that says something a lot about a local concrete company. Many of the same guys for years. Mario Sr.'s been there since 2009. Indy Decorative Concrete did such a fantastic job replacing my old porch and sidewalk. It gave a whole brand new look and feel to my front yard and my house. They took a basic sidewalk and porch and turned it into this custom stamped concrete area with more space and an awesome, unique look. My wife and I can't believe how amazing our new front porch and sidewalk looks. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, whatever, don't do anything until you've checked out my friends at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
During much of Indiana's history, communicating on the telephone with the deaf or hard of hearing was nearly impossible. Friends and loved ones couldn't stay in touch, so the hard of hearing became isolated. Today, those with hearing loss have equal access with a captioned telephone from Relay Indiana and can keep their independence. Relay Indiana allows a caller to read what the other party is saying. This advanced technology keeps Hoosiers connected so that everyone can contribute to Indiana's productive future. Learn more at RelayIndiana.com.
I'm sure everyone says this, but my mom really deserves the world. This year, I finally found a Mother's Day gift that comes close. She loves Helzberg, so I'm getting her these timeless gold earrings she can enjoy for years to come. They feel special enough to show how much I truly appreciate everything she does for me. And I mean everything. I even sent my dad a link to the Diamond Eternity band he'll be getting her, too.
Save up to 50% on Mother's Day gifts Mom will cherish forever. Visit Helzberg.com or a store near you.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is,
Are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Join our B&W Premier Club for additional benefits and exclusive discounts.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, 317-214-0108, your American Standard air dealer.
This May, you can be a hero at the finish line. Say yes to organ donation and talk to your family about your decision. A message from Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives.
News doesn't wait, and neither should you. Breaking news updates, local headlines, and statewide coverage are always available at WIBC.com. When the news moves fast, we will too. Stay in the know while you're on the go with WIBC.com.
So if you missed it earlier, we made the big announcement, Hammer and Nigel show live at Carb Day this year.
Come on.
Thank you to the Hensley Legal Command Center. We're going to be there at Garage 23 on Carb Day. There's a contest we've got going on our Twitter feed right now, at Hammer and Nigel. Just retweet the pinned tweet that we have promoting our Carb Day show. Just retweet it, and you'll be entered to win a couple tickets for qualifications at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's it. Doesn't cost you anything. We're not taking your information and selling it. We just want to promote our Carb Day show and give you a little prize to boot. So go to Twitter, at Hammer and Nigel, retweet our big Carb Day announcement, and maybe you'll win some tickets. Matt Baer.
Inbound 65, stop-and-go traffic in Belkay to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slowing from Belmont into the South Split. Northbound 65 slows after Raymond into the South Split. That's because of construction in the left lane. Also, eastbound 465, stop-and-go Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69 dragging from 106 to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Donor Network. This may be a hero at the finish line. Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives remind you to say yes to organ donation the next time you're at the BMV. I'm Matt Baer with follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I'm Matt Baer.
Yeah.
I'm Ron Burgundy. 60 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And Nige, sometimes we get criticized on this program for being a little too rowdy, a little too over the top. Sometimes we're not always family friendly.
Right.
So that's why, from time to time,
Yes.
we like to break down and do a segment for the younger listeners of this program. We call it Fun Facts for Kids.
It's time for Hammer and Nigel's Fun Facts for Kids.
We don't like to do this.
These are real pieces of information that you can share with the younger listeners, the youngsters in your family. Like this. The Kentucky Derby was this past weekend.
Yes.
After a horse dies, the hooves may detach from their legs as the body goes through the natural process of decomposition. This can be a result of the loss of blood supply and tissue breakdown. While not always immediate, hooves can eventually separate from the body. If a horse loses a hoof due to an injury or disease before their death, it can also detach, and the horse would likely be unable to support its weight and would require being hit with a needle for euthanasia.
Fun Facts for Kids.
Speaking of death, dead people can fart for up to 7 hours after passing.
Fun Facts for Kids.
I'm still stuck on the horse one, and then you hit me with the fart?
Speaking of death, scientists say that you don't actually smell dead or rotting animals. You are tasting the particles in the air.
Oh.
So kids, remember, when you're driving down the street with your family and you smell a dead possum in the road, it's kind of like you're licking its fatal and bloody wounds.
Fun facts for kids.
How do kids think that's fun when they hear that?
In the USA, a child goes missing roughly every 40 seconds.
Stop it.
While 99% are found immediately. There's 1% that are never found.
Stop this.
So remember, kids, when your mom drops you off at the playground, it might be the last time you ever see her again.
Fun facts for kids.
Completely inappropriate and unnecessary.
Those are all real pieces of information.
Especially that last one. That was not.
That the younger kids can enjoy.
Nobody enjoyed that. Any part of that.
We have got a loaded 5 o'clock hour coming up. Coming up at 5:33, the chief of police for IMPD, Chris Bailey, scheduled to join in.
Why don't we reset the fun facts for kids bit for the chief of the IMPD? Let's see what he thinks about that.
Who do you think gave me the stats? Nige. Also, coming up right after the top of the hour, 5:06. Once in a while, like every month, we like to check in with the minority leader on the city county council here in Indy, Michael Paul Hart. Yes.
Michael, he's a good-looking guy, isn't he?
Good-looking dude.
Damn.
He's got his work cut out for him. He's dealing with a lot of lunatics on that council. But we'll find out what's going on. And again, it's not a secret. My first question is the same every time he joins us on this program. Any update on the sexual harassment scandal in Hogsett's office? So we're going to ask that right out of the gate. The minority leader of the City County Council scheduled to join us next. Do not go anywhere. Give us a like on that YouTube feed, WIBC's YouTube feed. If you enjoyed Fun Facts for Kids, if you enjoy us going to Carb Day.
I hated it.
WIBC's YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up.
I can't predict the traffic. I try to. Sometimes I try to predict the weather. I can't predict the stock market. People try. It's so hard to do that. That's why we need help. And Trajan Wealth, the fiduciary advisors always act in your best interest. They're the help we could really use right now. Matt Bear here. Hey, Trajan Wealth Management is designed to protect, maintain, and expand your financial portfolio. They want to work with you, collaborate with you in designing your dream portfolio. Call and schedule your first appointment. It's free. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. The financial experts at Trajan Wealth can help you design a strategy based on realistic options that marry your retirement hopes and circumstances. Call today and learn more about these strategies. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Stylin'. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
What is 988?
It's a free 24-hour suicide and crisis lifeline.
And what is a crisis?
Maybe something you experience so often.
You don't even think it's a crisis.
Anxiety over money.
A stressful relationship.
Concerns about a loved one's mental health.
If you are experiencing thoughts of suicide or mental health or substance use crisis, call or text 988.
It's a listening ear.
And it's a way forward.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
At Hendricks, our cancer care
is in the details.
When you are with us, and you have our time and you have our energy.
We have a wonderful team of highly trained oncologists, physical therapists, speech pathologists, dietitians.
Always making sure that the patient is the center of the care.
We have excellent nurse navigation that are skilled at identifying barriers to treatment, as well as expertise from Mayo Clinic.
It is more personal care than just a number.
Visit hendricks.org/cancer.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
The most important advice I can give to someone regarding their heating and air conditioning system is for them to change their filters.
And get regular maintenance from B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
A ban on gain-of-function research. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump just signing an executive order that bans federal funding for research critics call dangerous. The White House saying the ban will drastically reduce the potential for lab-related incidents involving gain-of-function, pointing to bat coronavirus research being done in China when the pandemic began. The Trump administration is offering money to migrants who self-deport.
Immigrants living in the country illegally who choose to self-deport using the CPB Home app are eligible for commercial flights and a $1,000 stipend under a new program from the Department of Homeland Security.
And we'll work with them, and we're going to try, and if we think they're good, they have, the people we want in our country, they're going to come back into our country. We'll give them a little easier route.
President Trump says immigrants who do not self-deport will not have a path back to the U.S.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House just getting word that Defense Chief Pete Hegseth plans to call for cuts in the number of officers, including at least a 20% cut in the number of 4-star military officers. Israel strikes back at Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen after a missile fired by the rebel group landed at the airport in Tel Aviv over the weekend.
The Israeli military says more than 20 Israeli fighter jets dropped munitions on targets, including the Hodeidah port. Another strike hit a cement factory. Israel's prime minister has promised to hit back at the Houthis' patron Iran at the time of Israel's choosing. In the meantime, a spokesman for the Houthis blamed the strikes on, quote, aggressive Zionist American raids and said they will not affect their military operations against the Zionist enemy entity, as he put it.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal, a senior U.S. defense official, says the U.S. was not part of the Israeli strikes in Yemen as a separate U.S. operation against the Houthis continues. President Trump not commenting directly today on a plan approved by Israel's cabinet to possibly seize all of the Gaza Strip if Hamas doesn't cooperate. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A man is dead after showing a gun in front of the Hendricks County Courthouse in Danville. Rain showing up on radar, moving in an unusual direction from southeast to northwest. That rain as far as Muncie now, and some strong storms just south of Fort Wayne. It's 58 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02.
But I can tell you for certainty that there is a gun here at the scene that we believe was in possession of the suspect at the time of the shooting.
Indiana State Police Sergeant John Perrine outside the courthouse in Danville this afternoon. The shooting went down about 1 o'clock. John Herrick spoke with Perrine.
Inmates were being transported to the courthouse to have their court proceedings. State Police Sergeant John Perrine says when they got there, 2 transport deputies and the inmates were confronted by a man with a gun.
At which time the deputies were able to shoot the suspect, get all of the inmates back to a safe location inside the courthouse.
Perrine says the suspect was later pronounced dead at the scene. He says this investigation is complex and they're trying to sort things out. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
No name made public yet. Perrine says they are not sure how long it will take before they have the answers. Gun trafficking. The reason 2 men have been arrested in Indianapolis after an investigation that lasted several weeks. Jake McDaniel reports.
Detectives were able to ascertain that
that Anthony Taylor and Gregory Henderson III were suspects in some illegal trafficking of firearms and narcotics.
That's IMPD Officer Tommy Thompson. He says officers searched a home on East 34th Street near Nicholas and Baltimore Avenues.
Detectives locate 3 handguns, one of which is stolen, and a rifle that's also stolen.
Thompson says you can give officers a call if you have any information.
Layoffs announced today for workers at several RV plants in Elkhart and LaPorte counties. More than 500 people will likely lose their jobs June 20th. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Hey guys, it's Rob for my friends at We Grow Hair Indy. You know the Indy 500 is coming up. Lots of hats out there. For me, I say why wear a hat when I have hair, thanks to my friends at We Grow Hair Indy. Call my friends at We Grow Hair Indy for your free evaluation today at 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com to see how other people have been able to ditch their hats and get their confidence back with a brand new head of hair. Get your hairline back, whether it's multi-unit hair grafting or their Artist Robotic FUE. We Grow Hair Indy has every proven solution to restore your hair. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com right now to get a free evaluation. WeGrowHairIndy.com. Call today, 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. And tell them Rob sent you.
93 WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
Crash near Geist at 79th and Fall Creek Road. Southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic. MLK to Meridian Penn, 5-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slows after Harding into Meridian, Illinois. Northbound 65 dragging just a bit from Raymond into the south split. That's road maintenance blocking the left lane. East side southbound 465 stop-and-go traffic after Washington Street to Brookville Road. And inbound 69 slowing just a bit from 96th Street to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Spotty showers possible until our Monday night with lows falling into the upper 40s. Then we're warmer for Tuesday with skies turning partly sunny and a touch breezy at times. Highs will find their way into the lower 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Talk a little mandatory Metallica with our next guest. That's amazing.
I love how old you just made Nige feel. Yeah, I used to go to bed as a kid listening to mandatory Metallica.
Well, who said that to me?
That is your minority leader for the Indianapolis City County Council, Michael Paul Hart, representing District 20.
Michael was a big X103 fan back in the day.
That's right.
Yeah, mandatory Metallica, 3 in a row, 10 o'clock, time to rock.
He was a kid when you were jocking the hits, Nige. There you go. So there is a meeting tonight, and we'll touch on that. But again, the standing first question that we always have for when you join us in studio, any update on the sexual harassment scandal in Joe Hogsett's mayor's office?
Little bit of an update. So glad to be here. Thank you guys for having me on again for another Monday. Just a reminder, we have 2 representatives on that committee, both Brian Mowry and Josh Bain. So I took some time to talk with both those guys and ask a few questions. And there's no, just to take the cliffhanger away, there's no big find yet by any means. The couple of updates that I were pushing these guys on is, what are we doing? Are we wasting money, or is there any progress being made? And what they were telling me is where progress is being made is in really the back end operational side that isn't really publicly facing, and not for any particular reason, but it's the HR processes. They're updating operational policies for the city. So that's one arm of everything that they're doing and where they've made some updates and changes. It's also the reporting process and things of that nature. But as terms of fines.
Right. Is anybody going to hold Joe Hogsett accountable, or at least sit him down for a grilling session saying, Did you know that Thomas Carl Cook, your former right-hand man, your chief of staff, was doing these creepy things to women? And why did you bring him back for your campaign when you ran again?
No. And I'll tell you, it goes a little bit farther. We'll probably maybe talk about spring fiscal here in a little bit, but in that, the city council office is actually asking for another $300,000 of taxpayer money because they've ran out of money in this process so far. So far they've spent $150,000 on lawyers and are asking for another $300,000 to keep asking these questions.
You know what? I feel like I could get a lawyer over there to do that for a lot cheaper of a price, counselor. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs. I am not a city council member, but I feel like there's an attorney listening to the show right now going, I'll go over there and find out some truth for a fraction of the price. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. I was pushing back even on my council office saying, who wrote this contract? I mean, did you write it in an open-ended? It must have been a very open-ended way, because to me, if I'm writing this thing, I'm saying, all right, you got X amount of dollars. Let's figure it out. But apparently that's not the way they did it.
If Joe Hogsett were a Republican, or it was a Republican mayor with a Democrat council, let's say that it's Mayor Michael Paul Hart, and you've got a very liberal city council, do you think there would be different results going on right here? A little bit more of a expedited process?
I'm certainly sure they'd be much more expedited.
So we've got the big city county council meeting tonight. Before we get to the things on the docket, you wanted to give us some updates on some things that we'd asked about last time. Nigel had brought up this investigative committee that had been brought in, and we kind of threw that at you last minute last time. But to your credit, you went back, looked up some information, and you've got an update.
A consultant group, right, for IMPD?
Yes. Taylor Consulting was the name of the group. And so it was right after you guys asked me about it, I got an email to do a survey. So I learned it's in two parts. And I called the chief directly on this and asked the question. And he said he was getting a lot of feedback because apparently there was a guy with a green mustache on the website for this company. And I said, okay. And he reassured me that the guy with the green mustache is not part of what this organization is doing. But essentially it's two surveys, one for the police badge side and then another for citizens. So anybody who lives in Indianapolis. And he picked this organization because they fit the qualifications of being able to run a survey. And essentially that's what they're doing. They put a list of questions together. I took it, and it takes about 20 minutes, and they ask you things about where do you live. You don't have to give them your real address or your actual address, but parts of town. What kind of concerns do you have about crime and things of that nature. Their job is to aggregate that information and then provide it to the chief.
So the guy with the green mustache is not part of the consulting group. He's just like the mascot. He represents the consulting group.
That's the way it was explained to me.
Okay, so it's not like these guys are having any influence on policy or anything like that.
Correct.
This is a group that was a consulting group that was brought in and taking surveys and taking suggestions and opinions on what better policies and procedures could happen within the IMPD.
Exactly. Yeah, they're a surveying group, and then the real policies will come from the General Orders Board, which is something that people should really take a look at. That was a board that the city council put together a couple years back that really sets the policy for the police department. So they'll have the same information to set policy for the police department.
One more update before we get into new things on the docket. Talk to me about the site where that mass overdose took place. I think it's Presidential Place Park.
Yeah.
We haven't heard a lot about that story since the day that it broke. Our news team was over there. A mass overdose. It's when I think we had Final Four games or something, or NCAA tournament games here in the city. Anything being done over there?
Yeah, so you guys gave me the idea. I'll give you that. I tell everybody I'm a middleman, and I'm the best one you'll ever find. I take information from people and I take it to the city, or from the city and I take it to people. And after I left the first time, the first call with you, I sat down, I said, you know what? Nothing's happening, but I should make something happen. So I called up the city and I called up the Keep Indianapolis Beautiful, because somebody had shared some pictures with me, like an older photo and then a current photo. And it used to look pretty pretty. It was really nice looking, and then now it just looks really bad. And so I called up KIB. I said, hey, look, if I can get some support, would you guys help out and make this place look nice again so it doesn't encourage this type of behavior from happening?
And KIB is Keep Indiana Beautiful.
Keep Indianapolis Beautiful, exactly. And so they said, absolutely, we'd be happy to help. So then I called the district counselor and I called the council office to help organize all these things. So we're looking at the last Saturday in May, and we're actually going to go over there with KIB, looking for some other community stakeholders, but we're going to clean the place up, remulch it. It's going to get ideally some new plants and things. And then I'm looking for a sponsor right now that needs kind of like a something new to it. So if anybody's out there listening, right, I've always had this idea of a nonprofit. I'm not suggesting that now, but I always see a lot of empty flagpoles, and there should be a nice organization out there just replacing flags. Well, I said this place needs a flag. It needs an American flag on it. It needs to be flying nice and high. So looking to find a sponsorship to get one of those installed, get the place cleaned up, and make it a little bit more inviting.
So cosmetically, you can do a lot of things, but how do you keep from a group of mass drug addicts congregating every night, injecting each other with needles?
I don't know. I can't stop that. I can try and make it look to make a nicer spot, a more inviting spot for people who don't do that behavior. But right now, it looks like most of that activity is hanging out on Luger Plaza more than anything.
We're talking to Michael Paul Hart. He is the minority leader on the Indy City County Council. They've got a meeting tonight, and it's spring fiscal night. So talk to me about what that means. And I'm just going to assume that all the money that we're talking about tonight is going to fix potholes, right?
If it was up to me, yes.
He just kind of looked at me shaking his head. No.
Yeah, so it's county income tax. This is a supplemental distribution from the state. So they didn't calculate it properly, and they owed us X amount of dollars. So that's $77 million that we're receiving. Now, certain parts of that have to go certain places. So $19 million has to go straight to public safety initiative. About another $8 million has to go to special use, which in our case is Indigo, because the city passed the referendum. There's some other things on property taxes. After all those are said and done, there's about $34 million left for Indianapolis to spend on whatever can go towards city spending. So that's a big chunk of money. It could go all towards roads. Ideally,
infrastructure would be huge.
It could. So the way the process generally works is the mayor's office, because they've got the Office of Finance and Management, will go through, what commitments do we have for stormwater? What do we have in our capital improvement commitments, which are still technically infrastructure if you're looking at bridges and water draining and things of that nature. And they'll say, here's our commitments. We have snow, right? We just passed a bunch of snow policies. So when it's all said and done, there is some good infrastructure spend. There's about $12 million in it right now, which $8 million is a gas tax match that goes straight to roads, but that's over time, so it won't be just immediate. But then there's some other things in there that we're looking at, like, what about this? And we were talking about these a few seconds ago, like $2 million to a home repair program. So if you fit a certain income bracket, mayor's office is they're proposing to hire some contractors, send to your house and fix your leaky roof. There's some other things for cultural districts, which I had to look up what a cultural district is, but it's Mass Ave and
Broad Ripple, Fountain Square, those areas.
Exactly. There's a counselor for the mayor's office and counselors kind of working together. Another $500,000 going over there. So all in all, I did some calculations. If we took away anything that's, kind of non-infrastructure right now, we could actually add about another $6.5 million towards roads, straight road spending. And that's where, myself and my colleagues have been looking at, making it
What's the argument against that? Because I'm sure that your colleagues on the other side, led by Vop Osley and the other Dems, they'll want to spend it elsewhere. But Republicans and Democrats both drive. This should be something that brings everybody to the table on the poor structure of our roads.
Yeah, those debates are coming. So they're going to be coming at the second Tuesday of the month. So next Tuesday, we'll have those arguments. We plan on bringing ours, which is we don't want to put any more money towards the Indianapolis Foundation, which is the same money that's doing the crime intervention programs. They want another $2 million for that as well. We don't want it on these home repair programs. We want it straight towards roads. And we're going to see what they have to say. I encourage folks to show up to these meetings and share their opinions too, because that's how decisions are made. When people show up and they say, hey, look, we want it to go to roads, it's a lot harder for counselors to look them in the face and then, say whatever it is that they're going to say.
Last thing here before we let you go. Again, the minority leader, Michael Paul Hart, joining us ahead of the big council meeting tonight. How often do you meet with Joe Hogsett, and what are those conversations like?
So now that I'm leader, it's been a little bit more often. So we've had one sit-down meeting, and I've been leader since January, but I've been invited to a lot more events since I've been counselor. And in the last 2 weeks, I've ran into him 4 times. So generally they're
at a bar every time, right?
No.
Sorry. I don't mean to put you in that spot. Sorry.
They're generally at some
Cinco
sort
de
of
Mayo, for God's sake. Stop.
some sort of event, and it's generally cordial conversations. But the first time it was when we had our real sit down meeting. It was me telling him that, look, we got to look outside of Center Township. We got to look around our townships when we're going to make investments. Like I tell everybody all the time, I've got the East Side, I've got the Washington Square Mall. We've really got to redevelop that. We've got to redevelop all of Washington Street. But I know there's more than what I see every day that's out there. And it goes back to our roads, but it also goes back to the quality of life outside of downtown Indianapolis. And that was the bulk of our conversation, is making sure that we're not neglecting all of Marion County.
So the big council meeting is tonight. That is the City County Council Minority Leader representing District 20, Michael Paul Hart. Go in there and give him hell tonight, Michael. Stand up, look at everybody. You're out of order, and storm out of that thing tonight.
All right, you got it.
Matt Baer standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center.
All right, we have a serious vehicle fire here on the east side. It's northbound 465 exiting to Pendleton Pike. It has us banked up to I-70 right now, but as you make your exit, most of that ramp is going to be blocked starting on the left side, okay? You can get by slowly on the very right side. So the exit ramp is open. This is northbound 465 to Penn Pike, but there is a delay back to I-70. Please be careful on your exit. Inbound 69, slow roll 96, 282nd. Eastbound 465, stop and go from Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65, 4-minute delay from MLK to Meridian Penn, and northbound 65, south side slow. Raymond Street through the south split. That's because of road maintenance blocking the left lane. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Cloudy skies, 60 degrees at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up next, a spirited round of Are You Okay With This? And then we'll have the Chief of Police from IMPD, Chris Bailey, calling into the show. We got a lot of big stuff coming up. Don't miss it.
I mean, we're talking an incredible deal going on right now in May for Window Nation. If you're having trouble opening and closing your windows, if they're drafty, if they're letting the air in or out, it's time for new windows. Now is the time. You get 60% off a house full of windows, and then for 2 years, you don't have to worry about a down payment, no interest, no monthly payments. That's right, pay nothing until 2027.
Window Nation windows made right here in the good old US of A. Plus, Window Nation has a 96% customer satisfaction rating, an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the best deals. So call Window Nation right now, 866-90-NATION. At least speak to somebody and lock the deal in. 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Right now, 60% off a house full of windows. You don't pay anything for 2 years. Get a free entry door when you buy a house full of windows. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration.
So have you had success at Holistic Integration in preventing amputations from neuropathy?
Yes, that is something that we're very proud of. That we've had a lot of people who had advanced issues, actually had part of their foot cut off and they were going to cut off more, which is just basically a death sentence as you work your way up.
Yeah.
So we hit them with the nutrients and with the diathermy and was able to save people. As far as having that done. That's a very common thing that we do. We have a very high success rate actually stopping an amputation from occurring.
Right.
And reversing that. So not only are we good at dealing with the neuropathies in there, but actually in the real severe types of cases where it is down to an amputation, we've been able to turn that around.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill?
When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hey, who's winning? What? Who's winning? Somebody spinning?
Race fans know the track is loud. For the hard of hearing, this confusion happens every day on the telephone. RelayIndiana.com can help. RelayIndiana.com is a free service that provides telephone access to the hard of hearing, so users have normal phone conversations through relay operators. Relay Indiana also provides free equipment to those who qualify. Enjoy the race and phone conversations. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
I'm sure everyone says this, but my mom really deserves the world. This year, I finally found a Mother's Day gift that comes close. She loves Helzberg, so I'm getting her these timeless gold earrings she can enjoy for years to come. They feel special enough to show how much I truly appreciate everything she does for me. And I mean everything. I even sent my dad a link to the Diamond Eternity band he'll be getting her, too.
Save up to 50% on Mother's Day gifts Mom will cherish forever. Visit Helzberg.com or a store near you.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our home has had Rhino Shield for 10 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by B&W HVAC, Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show. Oh, yeah!
Hammer, a Civil War era cannonball got thrown away.
Cannonball!
Got thrown away in Michigan. Like a real cannonball out of a cannon. Got
Not
thrown
Ron
away.
Burgundy diving into the pool?
No, it wasn't. It got thrown away in Michigan the other day. Bomb squad had to be called to make sure it wouldn't explode. Here's an employee of the Public Works facility talking about the item.
Definitely piqued most people's interest in the office, I would say. Everyone wanted to see it. At that point, it was kind of like, yeah, okay, let's get this out of here and figure out what to do next. After our staff kind of took a look at it, did an initial examination, we decided it was best to call Grand Rapids Police Department. Once police arrived and confirmed that it was possibly explosive, that's when they evacuated the building. So it was brought outside, the bomb squad unit secured it in a...
Okay, so remember that scene in Austin Powers where somebody throws a shoe at Austin Powers, and he's like, seriously, who throws a shoe? You fight like a woman. The same logic can be applied to this. Who throws away a cannonball? Like, is there some dude inside of his house and his old lady's just giving him crap? Kenny, you still got that damn cannonball? Yeah, you need to get rid of that. It's spring cleaning. All right, and he just takes it out and puts it in the trash. You can't just throw away a cannonball because you know why? Somebody like Cousin Eddie is going to come by looking in the trash and think that it's a quality item.
If you don't mind, Clark, I'd like to see if I can fumigate this here chair. It's a good quality item.
If you don't mind, I'd like to take that cannonball. Seems like it's got a little juice left in it. It's a good quality item.
How do you even know it's a cannonball? Could it be just like something you use for duck pin bowling or something like that?
But cannonballs are a little bigger, aren't they? I've been duck pin bowling. I've never fired a cannon.
I love how at the end of that initial clip, the guy said, "Yeah, the professionals came out and they brought the cannonball out in a bag." That's the protocol for disposing of a potentially, an item that could have a lot of damage. We put it in a bag. We'll take care of it. You guys go about your business. You guys go back in the building. It's in that bag now.
To be fair, it's a black trash bag, so it's a little sturdier than what you're used to. Oh, well, thank you. No, I'm not okay with this. You can't just throw away a cannonball. By the way, great moments in cannon history. Chris Hammer will be firing off the cannon to open up the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on race day this year.
Shut up. Like at 5 o'clock in the morning?
Yes. I was part of a police auction.
Oh, I was there for that. Yeah.
Where they auctioned off the ability to fire off the cannon that opens up the speedway for race day. So when you hear that cannon go off, just know that Chris Hammer has fired that bad boy.
Bravo.
That's pretty solid.
Bravo.
Coming up here in just a moment, we will have the chief of police from IMPD on, Chris Bailey. I want to get an update on recruitment because we keep hearing that the military, under a new regime, if you will, they're having great success recruiting. Is that trickling down to police departments? So we'll talk about that. The homicide rate, it's been lower than years past. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's been lower than years past. What's working there? A lot of stuff to get to. Chris Bailey, chief of police from IMPD, he joins us right after the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Gunshots in Danville, right outside the courthouse. Watching rain on radar, moving from the east to the west this afternoon. And now in central Indiana, 60 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. A man is dead, shot by 2 Hendricks County deputies. That happened about 1 this afternoon, says State Police Sergeant John Perrine. Those deputies were leading prisoners from a van into the courthouse when they were confronted by the man who showed a gun, says Perrine. What they don't know is why.
Very early in this, and hopefully we'll get to a point where we have the motive to find out exactly why that man was here and what was happening, but right now we don't have that.
No name yet on the dead man. All of the trading on Wall Street was down this afternoon.
Stocks losing steam heading into the closing bell and ending lower with the Dow and S&P 500 snapping a 9-session winning streak amid renewed tariff tensions and as investors await the Fed's verdict on interest rates on Wednesday. On Sunday, President Trump threatened a 100% tariff on movies produced outside the U.S. Shares of entertainment giants like Netflix, Paramount, and Disney fell on the news. The president said he's looking to meet with some film industry officials about his plan. The Dow winners, IBM, McDonald's, and United Health. The Dow decliners, Amazon, Apple, and Goldman Sachs. The Dow falling 99 points. The Nasdaq lower by 133. S&P 500 down 36. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
You now know where the NFL draft will happen in 27.
President Donald Trump announced the location of the 2027 NFL draft on Monday, saying it will be held on the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
The draft is a celebration of one of our country's most cherished cultural institutions and the annual highlights for football fans everywhere. Everyone in the world is going to be watching.
Trump announced the news alongside Commissioner Roger Goodell, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, and Washington Commanders owner Josh Harris. The NFL draft, which was last held in the nation's capital in 1941, has become extremely popular, with 600,000 fans attending this year's draft outside of Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
93 WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, vehicle fire cleanup on the east side. This is Lawrence on northbound 465 exiting to Pendleton Pike. Most of the left side of the ramp is blocked right now. Traffic is getting by on the right just slowly, and we are backed up to I-70 for a delay time of 3 minutes. Inbound 65, slow off MLK down to Meridian Penn. Northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go traffic from 86th Street up to 865. Eastbound 465 75 slows from Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69 slow from 106 to 82nd Street for a 4-minute delay. And a crash on the northeast side, East 79th Street at Fall Creek Road. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Donor Network. This may be a hero at the finish line. Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives remind you to say yes to organ donation the next time you're at the BMV. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Spotty showers possible until our Monday night with lows falling into the upper 40s. Then we're warmer for Tuesday with skies turning partly sunny and a touch breezy at times. Highs will find their way into the lower 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
Hail to the chief, baby. The chief of police is here from the IMPD, Chief Chris Bailey. How are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you guys?
You know, Chief, I was turning north on Illinois. I was in my car. You were crossing. I was on Washington and Illinois, and you were crossing, and I saw you. I go, oh, there's a chief. And I wanted to, like, honk my horn at you, like, to get your attention, to say hi. But then I kind of thought better of it, thinking to myself, maybe I should be honking at the chief of police, you know? And even if I did get your attention, you probably wouldn't have known who I was. And
I probably would have known you.
I don't know. I didn't want to take that chance, but
they don't let me be the police anymore, so I think you would have been fine too.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if there was a fine there or something like that.
A random stranger throwing on the horn to the chief of police is probably frowned upon.
Hey, just wave at me with all 5 fingers, though.
Okay, all right, I'll do that next time.
Chief, okay. Let's start with some good news here. Homicides in the city trending downward. Now, it's not perfect, but compared to the polling numbers that show normally it's been 200 homicides year after year, the trending numbers, I should say, it seems like so far this year in 2025, we are looking at potentially under 200. Why is this happening?
Well, I think there's a lot of factors. One, there's a lot of really good police work going on out there. Our cops, our detectives, our analysts are all really hitting on all cylinders right now because, about 3 or 4 years ago, after we saw that tremendous rise in 2021, we really focused our efforts on trigger pullers, on people that may retaliate, those that we know are involved in some sort of violence, those people that are going to retaliate. And every day they're just turning out this intelligence that puts them on the right people. And we're taking illegally possessed firearms out of their hands, and we're taking people off the street before they can commit the violent acts that maybe they thought they could get away with 3 years ago because they didn't think people were paying attention. But not in Indianapolis and not with the IMPD and specifically our great cops, detectives, and analysts that are working really hard every day to keep the city safe.
And we know for a long time the FOP president, Rick Snyder, friend of our program, was lobbying for more cameras around the city, more technology. Has that played a hand in reducing some of the numbers so far?
Yeah, with 300 officers down, we have to leverage technology to work in our favor. Number one, we have to make sure we use it constitutionally. And I always tell people this, if we can't do something within the Constitution without technology, we certainly can't do it with technology, and we make sure we follow those rules. Otherwise, we lose those tools to help keep our community safe. Yes, every single day, the license plate readers put suspect vehicles in areas. They help us find people in hit and runs. Today, the International Association of Chiefs of Police Tech Conference is downtown, about 1,000 people. And Superintendent Scott from the Indiana State Police went into a story about a deceased human body on the side of the road up on the interstate, and just all the pieces of technology and working with IMPD to help solve that case. So yes, it's been an invaluable and a great investment for our city. And if you go ask any cop or detective out there on the street, they'll tell you that specifically those license plate readers are solving crimes every single day.
IMPD Chief Chris Bailey here on the Hammer and Nigel show. I heard you mention something about 300 officers down. I know nationally on a federal level, after Trump was elected, military recruiting numbers started going up again. Pete Hegseth, as the Secretary of Defense, has been touting those numbers. I saw that stat, and I was just kind of hoping and praying that would maybe trickle down and have some sort of effect on in terms of recruitment and retaining talent within IMPD. How is that going?
Well, we seem to be hanging on to our officers a little bit better than we did a couple years ago. You know, you mentioned Rick and the FOP, along with Mayor Hogsett and the city's team. Those two groups negotiated what, in my opinion, is the best labor agreement that I've seen in my 26 years that compensates our officers where they need to be compensated, keeps us competitive.
Great.
So that's helped us hang on to some of our veteran officers because we focus on those mid-level people. We've done a lot for the people recruits. We increased their pay multiple years in a row. We offered hiring bonuses. We did all those things, and we in some ways neglected those cops that have been here grinding for 5, 10, 15 years. And so that really did help. We haven't seen this pushback up in applications like I'd hoped to, as this pendulum from some of the wacky things that we saw in 2020, 2021, somewhat back to the center. But we haven't seen those applications go up. And, you know, policing is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operation with weird shifts. And this newer generation just really isn't into working, you know, midnights and on weekends and some of those things. So it's still a difficult push for us, but we're trying.
Chief, one of the things that I hear a lot from my friends in law enforcement is it is a mental grind. Yes, it can be physical, but it's a mental grind. What can you do as chief of IMPD to make sure that the wellness of your officers is taken care of?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. It's one of my priorities this year. IMPD has had since 2010 one of the most state-of-the-art wellness units anywhere in police departments across the country. We've been trying to break this stigma of getting help and recognizing that you need to take care of yourself for some time. But there's always ways that we could get better. When we first started our program, I think, officers looked at it through a skeptical eye, as we typically do. We're a different breed. But now we have so many voluntarily going to these services that we had to look for new ones. And so we just rolled out a couple weeks ago through an app called Pro Team Shield. And I don't know if you're familiar with Jim Sorgi and Sure. Joey Van Dever. They have a company called Pro Team Tactical Performance. They do a lot of our musculoskeletal injuries, getting cops back to work as soon as possible, treating us like tactical athletes. And so they started a new part, a mental health part. They bought a clinician group. They have clinicians up on the north side, and it's an app where officers can go in and do some self-diagnosis. They'll look at your anxiety, sleeping, depression, others, and you kind of track your where you're at over time. But then you can make appointments directly from that app, and you don't have to go to the department. The department never has to know, and it's all free to our officers. So that's one way from that standpoint. But we have to do better of reducing their workload. We ask a lot of our cops, and with 300 down, the events haven't stopped, and the violence hasn't stopped, and so we are going to have to make some decisions in the near future about what services we stop providing, because we can no longer do more with less. We have to do less with less because we're wearing our officers down. If we want them to take care of our community, then we have to take care of them.
Chief, you talk about the community and talk about some of the violence. There is a disturbing trend, and it's been going on for some time now. It's nothing new. Juveniles and violent crimes, and I'm just wondering your overall thoughts and impressions and what can be done, and why are we seeing more violent juvenile crime in the city?
Well, I mean, we have a whole generation of kids that just don't have any supervision or and they lack respect for traditional institution, whether it's their own parents or grandparents, elders in the neighborhood, churches, police officers. I mean, I just had a meeting with a business owner over on the near west side about this Sunday Fun Day that starts in Riverside Park, comes to 29th Street. the nonsense impacts his business. And while a majority of those folks over there are older and they come over there to enjoy the good weather and company and aren't a problem, it's a small group of people that steal the cars, that want to do the spinning activities, that are armed with guns and not supposed to have them, and they fire them out of their cars or fire them at each other. That's a problem. And so there is a lack of guidance. There's been an abdication, in my view, by parents, and some voluntary and some just, by choice, just by circumstance. And I'm not judging those individuals, but that's what we see a lot of. When kids tell you they'd rather be caught by the police with a gun in their neighborhood than in their neighborhood without one, then we have a significant problem that we have to deal with. They're living this fast lifestyle where they don't believe many don't believe they're going to live past the age of 24. They're either going to be in prison, they're going to be dead. And we have to do something to provide hope. And it's not going to, it can't just come from the police. We can't lock these kids up. We end up sometimes creating future criminals with how we interact with the youth. And so we have some programs we're going to try in conjunction with Boys and Girls Clubs and others to divert some low-level offenders in the hopes that we get them and their families some assistance to keep them out of crime to begin with.
Chief, last thing here before we let you go. You mentioned events keep going on in the city despite the fact you're 300 officers down. The biggest event is about to happen here in a couple of weeks, the Indianapolis 500. And Nigel and I say this every year. We always give a hat tip to the police officers that work that. 300,000 go in, 300,000 go home every single year. How much time and preparation goes into getting ready for that event? And there are rumors, and I don't know if it's true or not, but there are rumors that the president may be interested in attending this year's race. If that's true, does that add another wrinkle to it?
Well, yeah, of course it does. I just go back to when Vice President Pence visited. It changes the dynamic, right? How do we get him in and out? It's already hard enough to get there when you don't have something like that happen. So is it a situation where the president would have to fly in rather than drive in? But those are all discussions that are going on back and forth, and whether it's President Trump or President Biden or Obama or anyone, my experience working with these administrations is a lot of things is last minute. We don't have a lot of advance notice, but our teams are already prepping for that. We'll adjust as necessary. It's a canceled day off for our department, which is really bad for them on Memorial Day weekend, right? They just had their Saturday canceled off for the mini marathon. They'll have that day canceled off. They'll have Carb Day canceled off, the parade day canceled off. So we'll have to adjust our staffing to account for if the president visits. But we'll make sure that he gets in and out safely because that's our job. And it'll be exciting for the city to have the president here, regardless what your politics are in the United States. President of the United States in our city for this great event. I think it'll just showcase our city even more than it already is by what already goes on. 350,000 people in the stands watching a one-day sporting event. It's just unbelievable we're able to do it in the way we do it anyway. But it really all comes down to our cops. Our cops know what they're doing, and they deserve all the credit when these things go off safely as they do.
Well, Chief, keep us up to date. Don't be a stranger, and we'd love to have you back real soon. Keep giving us these updates on what's going on in Indy.
I really appreciate you having me, and I'll come on as often as you want. You all draw a great crowd, and I think that the people that listen to your show need to hear from their police department too, and I need to hear from them. And so whenever you want me on, I'll be here.
Thanks, Chief.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chief.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
IMPD Chief Chris Bailey right there. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and State House Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and State House Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org And let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Concrete Floor Coatings. You already know if your garage concrete has stains and cracks, or you've got a bad epoxy job, it makes your whole garage look bad. Guaranteed, a Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your garage in just one day. But did you know? We transform concrete patios and concrete pool decks beautifully. Our patios and pool decks are guaranteed and turn out way better than new, at a fraction of the cost of replacing them. And we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly and apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross proprietary guaranteed finish. If you call us within the next 10 minutes for your quick and easy estimate, you'll get a free Samsung 70-inch flat screen TV or $500 credit. Free with every garage floor, pool deck, or patio we transform. Call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR now. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
Join our B&W Premier Club for additional benefits and exclusive discounts.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, B+W.com, your American Standard Air dealer.
Politics, punchlines, and pure WIBC. The Mashup Podcast pulls the day's best moments from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, and drops them in one place. New episodes each weekday. Search WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
Hammer vehicle fire cleanup continues in Lawrence on northbound 465 exiting to Pendleton Pike. The ramp is open. It is partially blocked and we are slow. Back to I-70, delay at 2 minutes. On the northeast side, this is a crash at Fall Creek Road at 79th Street. Northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go from 79th up to 865. And a crash way southeast, Southeastern Avenue at Acton Road. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Donor Network. This May, you can be a hero at the finish line. Say yes to organ donation and talk to your family about your decision. A message from Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
59 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. The Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is here.
Hello.
And Nige, if you need a reason to drink tonight, and I think you're going to need a drink because this is going to make you feel incredibly old, happy birthday to MTV News Kurt Loder. Remember Kurt Loder?
He's got to be at least like in his late 60s or 70s, right? Yeah, Kurt Loder. I mean, he was a staple for MTV and MTV News.
Nigel, he's 80. Kurt Loder is 80.
I was a tad off.
80. You know how old I feel right now? Kurt Loder of MTV News is 80. Good God.
That's where I got all my rock and roll news, though. I never really bought magazines or anything like that. I would just turn it on MTV to find out about the bands that I wanted to know about. And Kurt Loder was part of that, for sure. 80?
8-0.
I guess, looking back, he seemed old back then in the 80s when I was, an early teenager. But, boy, I would have guessed like 69, 70. I wouldn't have said 80.
I can't believe he's 80. Feels like just yesterday he was breaking that story about Kurt Cobain.
Hi, I'm Kurt Loder with an MTV News special report on a very sad day. Kurt Cobain, the leader of one of rock's most gifted and promising bands, Nirvana, is dead, and this is the story as we know it so far. Cobain's body was found in a house in Seattle on Friday morning. He was dead of an apparently self-inflicted shotgun blast to the head. Police found what is said to be a suicide note at the scene, but have not yet divulged its contents. Cobain, who was 27, had reportedly been missing for about 6 days, according to his mother.
Yeah, that was probably his most iconic, memorable moment. For sure, Kurt Loder.
80 years old.
Happy birthday. Still going strong.
I need a drink after that. Top stories next.
Are you dealing with foot, knee, hip, or back pain? Well, it sounds like you could use a spring in your step. Hi, this is Phoebe with the Good Feet store, and I've got just the thing to help you spring forward into comfort. Good Feet's unique, patented 3-step arch support system is designed to reduce pressure on your joints to keep you feeling energized all day long, even when you're running on an hour's less sleep. With less pressure on your joints, you'll also experience less pain and discomfort too. When you visit the Good Feet store, we'll take time with you to figure out what you need on your free personalized fitting. You can also take all the time you need to walk in-store to feel the Good Feet difference personalized for your feet, your shoes, and your lifestyle. Most of our customers say they feel relief immediately, and you can too. Make your appointment today at goodfeet.com. Don't just live with the pain. Discover your options and spring into comfort at the Good Feet store. Come in today for your free personalized fitting and test walk. We're in your neighborhood. Visit goodfeet.com to find the location nearest to you.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Fishers and Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market. Even in winter, we're bringing you the best in farm fresh flavors. Stop in for our fresh salad bar, hot and crispy wing bar, and a cheese selection that is second to none. Got a sweet tooth? Our homemade pies, creamy fudge, and old-fashioned candy will hit the spot. Come see us on US 31 just north of Carmel. We're open every day 9 to 6. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about fresh, local, and delicious. See you soon.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. M-O-S-S. mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I am Mark.